Am I audible? Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then. Vian, check from your side any issues. Please check. Okay. So I hope yesterday we had the orientation, everything is clear, the paper format, etc., the syllabus, and how should you do your preparation and what will be the focus area. I had given what are the standards which are important, etc. So from today, we will be starting with the basics, conceptual framework. So what is this? Anyone, any idea what is conceptual framework?
So they are a set of theoretical concepts that help financial preparers prepare and present their financial statements.
Okay. So can I say when coming to your IS and IFRS, can I say these are principle based? When coming to your US gap are what? Rule based. Principle means certain principles are given, you have to follow that and you have to prepare your balance sheet, PNL, whatever you say. Now, as you know, every religion has its own holy book and each every religion has its own principle. This should be done, this should not be done. Same way, when you communicate to the shareholders in the language of IS and IFRS, how these IS and IFRS are developed with the help of what? Conceptual framework. Conceptual framework will provide the basic principles which are used to prepare your financial statement and which are used to develop the IS and IFRS. Now let's take an example. If in exam you get a question and you're not able to identify which IS or IFRS will apply, but can I say what are the elements that are recorded in the balance sheet of PNL? Anyone? What is recorded in PNL balance sheet?
Asset, liability, uh,
Asset, liability, then
uh, income, capital, loss.
income, capital, and expense.
Yeah.
Capital, can I say equity? Yes or no? So these are the five things which are always recorded. Other than this, nothing is recorded. It is recorded in the financial statement. Yes or no? Nothing other than this. Five items you should record. Now you should decide whether the following item is an asset, whether the following item is an liability, income, or expense. How will you identify this? By using the conceptual framework. And if you get a question in the exam, you are not able to identify which IS or IFRS will apply. Can I say with the basic principle which you have, either asset should be recorded, liability, equity, or expense. Can I say you can just check whether the item is an asset, liability, income, expense, or equity and record it. Even though if you're not able to identify the IS or IFRS, just follow the conceptual framework and write down the answer. When coming, can I say when we had the discussion of cryptocurrency yesterday also mentioned cryptocurrency, did you know which IS or IFRS will apply? No, you just followed the basic principle whether it is an asset, liability, or income, and you gave your answer. Same way in exam, if there is a question which is out of the box and you're not able to identify, simply follow the conceptual framework principle and write down your answer, you will get the marks. Today we'll be doing three questions, and I will say if a question comes from conceptual framework, how should you answer, what are the basic points you should write so that you will be getting marks. 3 to 2 marks you will be getting if you write those sentences. Is this clear? So can I say conceptual framework means what? Basic principles which are used for what? Preparation of the financial statement. So this today the chapter which will be doing the basic of conceptual framework, little bit it will be annoying for you saying sir what are we learning, etc., but this forms the base for all the IS or IFRS. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So let me share my Excel sheet. So I hope this was clear. That is the screen visible? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So this we had already discussed, and I mentioned what are the important points. I mentioned what is how should you aim to pass the exam. Everything done, and what should be your aim to score. It should be the accuracy should be 65 percentage. So out of 100 you can easily score 60. Your aim should be that you score more than 60, not not less than that. Then we started with the key syllabus area, IS and IFRS. And here I have mentioned the part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, part 6. And this I have marked which are the IS very important. Then I mentioned how to answer SBR question. Each standard will be doing, I will be mentioning you what are the important lines or what are the important sentences you should learn and understand it. Okay. So
Yes.
now, starting with the conceptual framework. Can anyone read the first paragraph? Anyone?
The conceptual framework for financial reporting sets out the concepts that underline the preparation and presentation of financial statements for external users. It therefore forms the basis for determining which transactions and events should be accounted for, when they should be recognized, how they should be measured, and how should be presented.
So conceptual framework will say you what? Can I say conceptual framework is a underlying principle or some set of rules which will help for what? Presentation of financial statements. Why do we prepare financial statement? A basic question. Anyone? Why do we prepare financial statements? If I am a company, why do I prepare financial statements?
To give a fair view of the company to the users.
Yeah, to give a fair view about the company. How will the company record the items to give a fair view? Can I say the company should only record the item which will affect the decision of the users? So the conceptual framework will say the element, whether asset, income, liability, equity, or your out of these five, when they should be recognized and how they should be measured, at what value you will be recording, when the asset should be recorded, at what value it should be recorded, and how it should be presented. Either it should be shown on a current asset or non-current asset, etc. We'll be learning. Is this clear? Conceptual framework sets the underlying principles for the preparation of financial statement. Now, one important advice I've given you, the exam advice. What is the exam advice here? The conceptual framework can be used in the SBR exam as a framework if asked to evaluate an IFRS accounting standard, discuss the accounting treatment applied to an item in a scenario, or advise an appropriate accounting treatment. This is the most favorite question of the examiner. In conceptual framework, there are two type of questions you'll be getting. Either a case scenario will be given and they'll say apply the conceptual framework and discuss the accounting treatment. You will not know. In the case of cryptocurrency, you don't know which IS or IFRS will apply. Or the other question that could come is that the standard would be given, a question will be given and a standard will be given, and the question will ask whether the IS or IFRS is in line with what? Conceptual framework. Whether the IS or IFRS is following the principle of conceptual framework or not. These are the two type of questions you will be getting. Is this clear? Important exam advice. Now, the conceptual framework is used by IASB. What is the full form of IASB?
International Accounting Standards Board.
So what is the duty of this board? To develop IS or IFRS. Yes or no? The IASB is a body which develops the accounting standard. So can I say when IASB wants to develop any accounting standard, they will be using what principles? The conceptual framework. They will be using the conceptual framework. What all is written in that, they will be following that and prepare the IS or IFRS. So the conceptual framework is used by whom? IASB to develop what? New accounting standard. Is this point also clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now coming to the next one, the purpose of conceptual framework. What is the purpose of conceptual framework? Can I say already we have discussed the first point. The purpose of conceptual framework is that to assist IASB to develop new accounting standard. Yes or no? A board is there. The board also will be using some principles to develop accounting standard. Those principles are known as what? Conceptual framework. The second one, to assist preparers to develop consistent accounting policy when no standard applies or a standard allows a choice. That means what? Sometimes, as we mentioned, cryptocurrency. Is there any specific standard? No, there is no specific standard. So, what this conceptual framework will help? The conceptual framework will help the preparers of the financial statement to account for the given element or the item which you have not yet accounted, or there is no accounting treatment. Is this clear? The second point. This is theory. This will not be tested. It's for your basic understanding. What is the purpose of conceptual framework? Then to assist all parties to understand and interpret the standards. Yes or no? Conceptual framework will also help to understand the standards which are published by IASB, to understand what was the basis used to develop the IS and IFRS. Any doubt in this? The purpose of conceptual framework?
No, sir.
No doubt?
No.
So what we have discussed till now, can I say we discussed that conceptual framework means what? Basic principles which are used to present the financial statement. And what is the purpose? It will be used by ISB to develop standards. It helps the preparers of the financial statement to understand the accounting policy or to account an accounting treatment if there is no specific IS or IFRS, and it helps the investors or other parties to understand the base how the IS or IFRS are developed. Now you say me the conceptual framework itself is a standard. Is conceptual framework itself a standard?
No, sir, it's a principle.
Yes. The conceptual framework it's not a standard. Is this point clear?
Yes, sir.
Now read this line. Read this.
As most IFRS accounting standards currently in issue were developed under earlier versions of the framework, their requirements do not always align exactly with the current conceptual framework.
So this means what? Can I say IAS and IFRS? IAS are the older version and the updated one are IFRS? A basic knowledge you have regarding this. And can I say the IAS which are developed are based on the previous framework which was that? And can I say the conceptual framework today you're learning, if there is a change in the principle, as if you know there was change in what? There was a change in the definition of the asset. There was a change in the definition of the asset. So can I say sometimes you'll see the IS and IFRS are not in line with the conceptual framework. If the IS and IFRS are not in line with the conceptual framework, you will always follow the IS and IFRS. IS and IFRS will prevail conceptual framework. Means the priority will be given to the IS and IFRS. Even though the IS and IFRS, the accounting treatment written in that is against the conceptual framework, still you will be following what? IS and IFRS. You will not be following the conceptual framework. Why this issue is there? Because the standards which were developed earlier were based on framework which was totally different when compared to the current one. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Then coming to some basic objective of financial reporting. Can you say me what is the objective of financial reporting? Why do we report about the company? Why? Already we have discussed this point. Yes or no? To provide information to whom? Investors. Can I say to the government? Can I say to lenders, to my creditors, to my suppliers, etc.? Yes or no? So that they can make a decision whether we should deal with this company or not, whether the company is doing good or not. As an investor, I will see the financial statements whether should I invest or not. When will I be able to see the or read the financial statement? If the company is reporting or communicating the assets, liability, and equity to me. Yes or no? If investors, lenders, and creditors are going to make these decisions, then they require information that will help them to assess what? Entity's potential future cash flow. In future, what will be the cash flow? In future, what will be the business, etc. Management, stewardship of the entity's economic resource. This means what? How the management is managing the company. Is the management managing the company well or not? You will compare the previous year assets with the current year. You will compare the previous year income with the current year. So you'll get to know whether the company is growing or not. Is this clear? Some basic objective of financial reporting. Then to assess an entity's future cash flow, user need information about what? To assess whether how much will be the cash flow in future, what all as an investor or as a lender I need. I should know what is the value of the asset in the company. I should know what is the value of the liability or equity in the company. I should know what is the income and expense of the company. If I have these five elements and the information regarding this, I will be able to think whether the company will be growing in the future or not, will there be cash flows or not. Is this clear? The objective of financial reporting.
Yes, sir.
Anyone, any doubt? Late joiners? Sayyid, Sana, you were late. Any doubts? You have time till 9. After that, you have to turn on your videos. Yes or no in the chat box. I'll ask once, not more than then. I'll start with the next concept. Again and again, I will not repeat.
No doubt, sir.
Okay, okay, ma. Then, coming to an important point here. Important note. Sayyid, can you read this note? Sayyid.
Financial statements are prepared on the assumption that the entity is a going concern. This means that it will continue to operate for the foreseeable future. If this assumption is not accurate, then the financial statements should be prepared on different basis.
Now you only say me, whenever the company is preparing its financial statement, what is the basic principle they have to follow? You would have come across the term known as matching principle, prudence concept, going
Yes, sir.
concern assumption, substance over form. These all are the basic principles we will be discussing today also from scratch. So that means what? Can I say financial statement, when the company is preparing the financial statement, it has a assumption that what? The company
That
is a going concern. That means what? The company will continue its business more than 12 months.
yes, sir.
Yes, is this clear, the going concern concept?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So I hope we are done with the little bit basic what does conceptual framework means, what is the purpose of conceptual framework, and the objective of financial reporting. Why do we prepare financial statement? And I mentioned the exam advice here is what? Two types of question will be coming. Again, at the end, once we do the question, I will mention it. So now, starting with the next concept known as elements of financial statement. What are the five elements? What is recorded in the balance sheet and P&L? Asset, liability, equity, income, and expense. These are the five elements which are recorded. Other than this, nothing is recorded. Is my pace okay? I'm not too fast now.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. What about others?
No, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. So now, what is an asset? Anyone? It's already written. It's on your screen.
A present economic resource controlled by an entity as a result of a past event.
Any example, Samya? Samya, you can give.
PPE,
PP. Okay, what is PP then? I
Prop-
don't know what is PP. A simple example.
building.
Building. Is building an asset?
Yes, sir.
Why it is an asset? Can I say a present economic resource controlled by an entity as a result of past event? If I say today I have this building, is this providing me economic resource? Can I say if I have a building today, can I say I will be getting rental income? Is that an economic resource? Yes. Is this controlled by me? Controlled by me, yes. Can I say if I purchase the building, can I say I am the owner? It legally belongs to me. It legally belongs to me. As a result of past event, what does past event means? Can I say past event means I purchased the asset 1 year ago, the building. Now you say me, let me take an example now. If this building I have taken on rent from Soham, and this building I am further letting out. I am further letting out. I am further letting out and I am getting rent. Now the owner of this asset is Soham, but I have taken the building from Soham on rent and further I am giving this on rent. Now this building will be an asset for me. For me, for Soham, for sure it will be an asset. For me, will it be an asset?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Why?
Because you're giving it out for rent again after
So
so
it's like controlled by the entity.
Yeah, controlled by the entity. Can I say control? Does control mean that for sure you should have the legal ownership? No. Control, either it could be owned or control means the legal title is on your name, or control means what? Now, can I say if I'm renting this, whatever expenditure or whatever income, it will belong to me only, no? Yes or no? So that means control means what? I have the right to take all the benefits from that asset. Here, Soham does not have the right to take the benefit. Now, I have this building. Whatever way I want, I can use this. So that even though the legal title is not on your name, still the asset can belong to you, or it can be classified as an asset. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
This will be clear in IFRS 16 leases. And this is known as what? Do you have any idea about the term known as substance over form? Anyone? Substance over form means what?
Uh, the economic reality is more than its legal form.
Can I say the example which I've given here is an example for substance over form? Yes or no? In
Yeah.
legal, if you see legally, it belongs to so on. But when you look to the actual way, who is using the asset? Me. Yes or no? So this is an example. Again, we'll discuss what a substance over form means. I hope the definition of asset is clear.
Yes, sir.
Why? Now, whenever you get a conceptual framework question, you should write the definition. Let's take a question comes regarding cryptocurrency. It is an asset. You should write the definition. You'll get 1 marks. Do understand this? Clear? An economic resource is what? Right that has the potential to produce economic benefits. Either it could be by selling or either it could be by some income or cash flow in future. Now coming to the next term or the next element known as liability. Anyone, what does liability means? Any example? Don't go with the definition that is given here. Any example, liability? Example of a liability.
Loan, sir.
Loan. Loan. Why loan is a liability? Will you get benefit here or there will be outflow of benefit here?
Outflow benefit.
Outflow of benefit.
So can I say liability means a present obligation of entity to transfer an economic result as a result of past event. Now Syed mentioned that sir, loan is a liability. Can I say why loan is a liability? Today I know that if I've taken a loan, I have to pay. Let's take 1 year ago I've taken a loan. Today I know that for sure I have to pay to the bank. So can I say I have an obligation to pay whom? The bank.
And
To transfer what? Economic resource. Can I say economic resource either could be cash, my building, etc. If I do not have cash, the bank will say that okay, give us the property. Simple. You're not able to pay the loan, give the property which you have. So liability means a present obligation to transfer economic resource as a result of past event. Past event was what here? I have taken a loan from the bank. The obligation could be what here? There are two types of obligation. Anyone, any idea? Two types of obligation.
Legal and constructive.
Legal and constructive. Who's this?
Vivan, sir.
Oh, you're active. That means. Okay. Anyone, any idea what does legal and constructive obligation means?
so legal is the obligation is legally binding on parties, and constructive is something an entity does on a regular basis, and people expect the entity to do the same thing when a certain kind of situation occurs.
Okay. So let's take legally. Let's take you have done a contract with me. You have purchased my classes. So I've given what all you will be getting in the classes. Yes or no? 5 to 6 items you will be getting. Now, did when I mentioned you, did I mention anywhere that you can contact me anytime 24 hours? No. But can I say you have an assumption that if we have any doubts, we can contact sir anytime? Yes or no? So can I say that assumption which you have that you can contact me anytime was developed how? Can I say based on the past activity or the past statement which I have done? I have mentioned already you that okay, if you have any doubts, you can call me anytime. Yes or no? So can I say it is not legally written, but based on my past activity which I have done or past statements which I have given in public, it makes this also an obligation to be fulfilled for a student. I have to fulfill this. Yes or no? If you have any doubts, anytime you can ask me. I have to clear it. Is this clear? Legal and constructive? Again, we will discuss when we do IS 37 provisions.
Yes, sir.
Then coming to equity. What does equity means? Anyone read the definition?
The residual interest in the net assets of an entity.
See, why I'm making you to read SBR is theory paper. You have to learn. Simple. Keep everything simple, you'll clear the paper. If you complicate, waste of time. So now, what does equity means? The residual interest in the net asset of an entity. What is net asset? Can I say net asset means asset minus liability? So if I say the company has asset value of $100,000 and liability of $20,000, once the company will shut down, how much will the equity shareholders will get? Can I say the investors will ultimately get the balance of $80,000?
Yes.
So that, yes, equity means the residual interest in the net asset of an entity. Residual interest. You are not an investor. Will you have any interest in this? Will you be getting this $80,000? Let's take a company is that today you are 7 members. I say only 6 members are the shareholders of this company. Sinchana is not a shareholder of this company. Will Sinchana be getting any amount of this $80,000? Will she have any interest in this? No, no, no. Is this clear? Residual means what? Anyone, what does the term residual means?
Deducted value.
Deductive value. What about others?
Leftover.
Leftover. Okay, okay. Is this clear? So I hope the term asset, liability, equity is clear. See why this conceptual framework is important. As I already mentioned that sometimes the question you will not be able to identify IS or IFR. Example in the past exam, there was a question regarding that a company is that the company has given gift voucher. This gift voucher treatment is not there anywhere. It's there in IFRS 15. You will not be covering in so detail. But can I say, if you see exam kit, Kaplan book, study up, etc., you will not find this question. And a question was asked for 6 marks. Do the accounting treatment of gift voucher as per conceptual framework or as per the respective standard. Will you be able to do? No, you do not have any idea which standard will apply. So in that case, what will you do? You will apply the conceptual framework. Out of 6, get 2 or 3 marks, then move forward. Do not waste your time. Now coming to the next one, income. Anyone else read the what does the definition of income means? Sahana, read ma. Income means what?
Increases in assets or decrease in liabilities that result in an increase to equity, excluding contributions from equity holders.
Can you give an example for income?
Rental income.
Okay, okay, rental income. So you mentioned rental income. Can I say sales is also an income? Now why?
Yes.
Let's see. Increase in asset. Now if I'm getting rental income, will it increase my asset? What is increasing here?
Like cash is coming in.
Yes, cash is coming in. So can I say this? It's or it's not and here. Income means increase in an asset. If I'm not receiving it, can I say I will have a receivable? My receivable is an asset. Yes or no? Even though if you're not receiving, can I say you'll have receivable? Can I say it you will receive in future? It is also an asset. Or decrease in liability that results in an increase to equity. Now you say me, whenever there is a decrease in liability, how it will be your income? Can anyone give an example for me? Any example? Anyone?
Like loan payments are the liabilities, and if we pay them off, it's like it increases the assets like that.
Hey, yapa, if you pay the loan, how it is increasing the asset? It decreases the asset. Oh,
So, like, technically,
hmm.
in liabilities, cash or some economic resource in the entity flows out,
Ah.
but when it doesn't flow out, the liability decreases, and hence an income, economic resource flow into the company.
Yeah, yeah, your answer is right, but a little bit more clarity. Now you only think, let's take an example. I have given you a loan. If I have given a loan to you, in your books it will be what? Liability. In my book, it will be an asset I have to receive. Now, if I say you will not pay me the loan, you will not repay the loan to me. Can I say if you will not repay the loan, then it will be a loss to whom?
To you.
Huh? Every time whenever a person is not paying a loan, can I say for the party who has given the loan, it is a loss for them? Do you now think from the point of the person who has received the loan? Now, if you have not paid the loan, can I say it is an income for you? You had $10,000 of loan to be paid, to be repaid, but you're not repaying. Can I say this has been reduced to zero? Can I say this 10,000 is an income? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
You always think from the point of view of a person who is giving a loan. Think from the point of view of the person who has taken the loan and ran away. For him, it is an income because it's not paying. So decrease in liability. Is this clear? What is an income? Increase in asset or decrease in liability that results in an increase in equity. As you know, asset is equal to liability plus capital. As this moves, the capital also will be affected. A basic class 12th equation. Now say me excluding contribution from equity shareholders. If I say I am the shareholder and I am contributing $10,000 to a company, and this means what? The company is receiving $10,000. There is an increase in cash. Is there an increase in cash or decrease in cash
Increase.
to the company? Increase, no. Will this be included as an income? No, it's a capital contribution by the investor. So income will exclude what? Contribution from equity holders. It's capital. It's not an income. Now coming to the next term, expense. What are the term expense means? Anyone read? Let's see who have not. Everyone read the definition of this one bit.
Decrease in assets or increase in liabilities that results in decrease to equity, excluding distributions to equity holders.
So what will you distribute to the equity shareholders?
Dividend.
Dividend. Okay, chalo, you have mentioned this. Now you say me, when will you say the following item is an expense? When it is decreasing your asset. Now you say me an example when your asset is decreasing. It's an expense for you.
Paying salary.
Paying
Salary.
salary. Okay, paying salary. If you're paying salary, can I say cash is going out? It is a decrease in asset. If you're charging depreciation, can I say decrease in asset and expense? Is this clear? Or increase in liability. When there is an increase in liability, it will be your expense. When? Example, increase in liability. Bete. Chalo, chalo, anyone?
Payables.
Payables? Then anything else? Increase in liability. Any other example?
Increase in number of bad debts.
Increase in the number of bad debts. Yeah, it is a decrease in asset. It's already clear. I'm asking for increase in liability. Bete. When your liability is increasing, if your liability is increasing, that means it's an expense for you. Payable, when will you say there is a payable? When you sell something or when you purchase something?
Purchase.
Purchase something? Yes or no? So can I say purchase is an expense? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Is this clear? Now you say me, if I say there is a dividend distribution, is dividend distribution an expense or it's repayment of the capital or the profits that belongs to investors?
Repayment.
Repayment, yes or no? So dividend will not be your expense. Can I say your provision is increasing? If I say your provision today was $10,000, it has increased to $12,000. Can I say this is an increase in liability? If there is an increase in liability, can I say it is increase in expense?
Yes, sir.
Another example. Clear? Clear with the definitions or asset, liability, equity, income, and expense? There should be no doubts in this. Anyone, any doubts?
No, sir.
No? Basic, sir. We have already learned, sir. We know all these things. Okay, no issues. You've just given your college exam, no? So you remember. Now coming to the next topic, some principles that we use when we do accounting. Accrual basis. Anyone, any idea what does accrual basis means? Accrual.
Sir, it is like we record the transaction when the transaction happens, not when we receive cash or pay cash.
Okay. Is this clear? Any doubts in this? It's basic of FA, basic of account. Accrual basis means what? Let's take today. I have my factory. I have a factory. So what are the expenses? Rental expenses. If I say my per year rent expenses $100,000. Now this I will pay at the year end. I will pay at the year end. So it's 1st Jan and the December. Accounting period is from 1st Jan till 31st December. Now this $100,000 is for the full year. Now you say me, should I record this expense on 31st December when I pay, or should I record over the years? Every month I should record an expense.
Every month.
Every month. Can I say that means accrual basis means what? Transactions and events are recognized when they occur, not when cash is received or paid. Yes or no? If today I'm using the factory, can I say I'm incurring the expense today only and I'm generating income? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Can I say if you do this, it will be a faithful representation?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So I hope the accrual basis concept is clear. Then coming to, I've given example, matching principle. What does this means? Matching principle.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes, so.
Uh, Sir, in a condition where salaries are to be paid to employees,
Yeah.
and for some condition they are not able to pay the employees salary. So in
Yeah.
that condition, should we record it that we are supposed to pay it, we are not able to pay it, but because we are supposed to pay it now, so we are recording it.
You see, if I'm running a company, today you're the employees. I have to pay the salary or not. So it is an expense for this month. Why can I say you're generating revenue for me this month only? Even though I have not paid the cash to you, can I say the expense is incurred today only?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you have to record today only, bete, the expense. It's not that later you will decide whether you'll pay or not. That is totally different. Today you should record that today you do not have cash. You should record debit, expense, credit, liability. Yes or no? It was an expense and it is increasing my liability because I do not have cash. The company does not have the cash. I can't pay. So liability is recorded and expenses recorded. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then anyone read the matching principle?
The matching principle requires that expenses be recorded in the same period as the revenues they help to generate.
Now, what does the matching principle means? Can I say matching principle means if I'm generating a revenue today, I have to record the expense that I've incurred to generate this revenue today itself. I can't record the revenue today of $10,000 and I incurred an expense of $1,000 after in the next year. I generated a revenue of $10,000 in the current year. To generate this revenue, I spent $1,000, and this expense I can't record in the next year. This is against the matching principle. Is this clear? Either it is an expense or income, vice versa. Any doubts in matching principle?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. Why this is done? To show what? To profitability and ensure expenses are matched with the related income. Then coming to the next one, substance over form. Anyone read? Vivan, read it.
Transactions and events must be recorded based on their economic substance, not merely their legal form.
Okay, what is the objective of the substance over form? Present a true and fair view of the entity's financial position performance, reflect the reality of the transaction, not just the legal form. The example which I have given you above. Yes or no? Now read the other example which I have given you below. Everyone read. Try to understand. Read and try to understand it. Already I've explained this. What is substance over form? Substance over form means you will look to the economic substance of the transaction, not to the legal form. What is the reality of the transaction? The recording is on, no?
Yes, sir.
Ah, it's your duty every day to remind me. If recording will not be on, it will be a problem. Any doubts in the example which I've given? In simple English I've written.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Yeah, bete.
Sir, basically in matching principle,
Ah.
if we receive the benefits today, but the cash payment or whatever is the next year,
Mm-hmm.
then it will be termed as receivables, right?
Ah, bete.
That will be taken into present year accounts only. But
Ah.
then the cash is actually being received next year. So
So, so that is the thing, that accrual and matching will, you have to keep these 2 points in mind whenever you're doing accounting. It's not that only you focus on accrual and you focus on matching. Is matching principle saying that when you pay you should record the expense? No, it's saying that okay, today you have done the expense, record it, and you have generated the revenue today, record it
yeah, but the revenue we're actually getting it next year only, no?
next year. But the expense you are doing today, yes or no?
Today, yeah.
Yes. So in this case, can you record it?
That is what, so should we record it?
So what should you do? Oh, someone gave the good question. Abhi batao, what should you do then?
We can do receivables today, but it won't match next year.
It won't.
Match for next year.
Now, when you record the format of P&L, what is the format? Revenue minus
Expense.
expense. Expense, revenue minus expense directly. Revenue minus
S-
cost of goods sold. Yes or no?
Cost of goods sold, yeah.
Yes or no? In that cost of goods sold, can I say if you're recording a revenue of $10,000, you'll less what? Cost of goods sold. Now that cost of goods sold, you should record for what items? You should only record for the item which you have done. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
This point will be clear when we do IFRS 15. But just now, understand the basic. Accrual principle means what? Matching principle means what? We will not go into detail now.
Okay.
Huh? If I go in detail, confusion ho jayega. I need you to understand today basic. In the first 6-7 classes, I will go very slow and I need you to understand basic. After that, we will be going to detail, 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 detail. Clear?
Okay.
Yes,
Yes?
sir. So both of them follow the prudence principle.
हाँ, we'll be coming to that, ma. इसलिए बोला है, learn basics now.
Okay.
You have to see the prudence concept also. You have to apply accrual. You have to apply matching. You have to see everything.
Yes.
Yes? It's a basic principle. Now, any doubts in substance over form?
No, sir.
No? Clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Okay. Now, I hope the definition of the elements is clear and some basic principles are clear. Now, coming to the qualitative characteristics. 6 principles. Have you covered this? Qualitative characteristics of useful information. The information which you provide in the financial statement should have what? Characteristics. What are 2 types of characteristics? Fundamental characteristics and
Enhancing.
enhancing characteristics. Have you covered these all? Fundamental, what does fundamental means and what does this means?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So what are the 2 fundamental characteristics?
Relevance of the information and faithful representation of entities transaction.
Okay. So, under fundamental, you have two things: relevance and faithful representation. Conceptual framework states that the financial information is only useful if it is relevant or faithful representation of an entity's transaction. The information which you provide is useful to whom? To the shareholder when it is relevant and it is faithfully represented. Now, what does relevance means? Information is relevant if it has the ability to influence the economic decision of users and is provided in time to influence those decisions. Yes or no? Relevance means what? It has the ability to influence the decision of the users and it should be provided in time. Now, you say me, if I say Reliance company is there, Reliance value is $10,000, assuming $100,000. Now, Reliance has not recorded $10 of one item. If Reliance has not recorded this $10 of item, will it be relevant for the shareholders? Will it be relevant for the shareholders? If you are a shareholder, will this be relevant for you? This
No.
$10.
Sir, it's not relevant.
Why? How did you decide?
Not material.
It's not material. Then what does the term material means?
Sir, it means any material item should be presented in the financial statement because it has the power to influence the investors or the shareholders.
So how did you decide whether the following amount is material? Can I say you will decide based on some percentage or by an amount? If I say, now if I say Reliance has not recorded an item worth of $10,000, then is this material? Will this be material or not?
Yes, sir. It's
Yes,
significant amount.
it is significant. Yes, coming to that word. Can I say this amount of $10, it is not significant to the users and this $10,000 is significant? So can I say materiality has a direct impact on the relevance of information?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Any doubts on this? When will you say the following information or is relevant? When it has the ability to influence the economic decision of the users and it is material. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. An item is material if omitting, misstating, or obscuring it would influence the economic decision of users. Either you're not recording it, either you're misstating it, or either you're obscuring it. Means you're not recording it completely. Any doubts in it? Materiality, basic concepts. This I've written for additional purpose. There are 6 principles: relevance, faithful representation, comparability, understandability, verifiability, and timeliness. The first one we have done. Now, if an information is relevant, what will it have? Can anyone read it? Oh, yeah. Is the Excel sheet visible?
No, sir.
No, sir.
One. Can anyone read this now? The information that is relevant has predictive value or confirmatory value. Chalo, 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 fast, fast.
A predictive value helps in making future decisions. This means that information can be used to predict future outcomes. For example, if a company's revenue has been growing for the past few years, investors or lenders can predict that it might continue growing.
If I say that information is relevant, what two values you can determine? Can I say predictive value and confirmatory value? If the information is relevant today, can I say with that information I can predict my future? What will be happening in future and I can take the decision. Then second one, bang.
A confirmatory value helps in checking past decisions. This
Hmm.
means the information can help users to confirm or correct their past judgments. For example, if an investor expected the company to perform well and the financial statements show good profits, then the information confirms the expectation. If the company performs poorly instead, this information corrects that expectation.
What does this means now? Anyone? Hmm.
Like if you had expected a company to grow by a certain percentage or
Ah,
make certain sales or something in the past, if we had decided that in the past and it does it today, then we confirm that it is true. Like,
yes. Is this clear? Any doubts? Anyone? Do you have to remember this? No. What do you have to remember? When information is relevant, if it affects what? The economic decision of the user. Simple. Then coming to the next one, faithful representation. Samya, read. Samya. Faithful representation means what?
A faithful representation of a transaction would represent its economic substance rather than its legal form.
Have we covered this? Substance over form.
Yes.
If the concept of substance over form is accurate, then it will be a faithful representation of the transaction. Now, when will you say the following transaction is faithfully represented? When it is completely recorded, neutral, no biasness, and free from error. A transaction is faithfully represented when it is completely recorded, it should be neutral, and it should be free from error. The board note that this is not fully achievable, but that these qualities should be maximized. Yes or no? Will you be able to achieve these three at a point in time? No. You have to record a transaction saying sometimes you'll believe that, sir, it is not neutral. Okay, it's not neutral, but can I say it's complete and free from error? You'll not be able to achieve this. When you see the IS and IFRS, many times you'll face this. It's not faithfully represented, etc. XYZ. But the board is saying that these qualities should be maximized. You should try to fulfill this. When preparing financial report, preparers should exercise prudence. Now, what does prudence means? Prudence concept.
Assets and income should not be overstated. Liabilities and expenses should not be understated.
Understated. Is this clear? Can I say faithfully representation will also align with prudence? Yes or no? Any doubts in the prudence concept? Anyone? Any doubts? Other
so
than
what does neutral mean, sir?
neutral means what? If I say that a decision should be taken and you should be neutral, that means what then? If I say Sahana is there, two members are there, A and B. Sahana should take a decision neutrally. That means what?
That means that there should be no bias.
Biasness. In case of financial, when you're preparing financial report, how it should be neutral? Who are the parties here to whom we are reporting?
Stakeholders.
Stakeholders, yes or no? You should not be aligned to one stakeholder saying that okay, our aim is to only present to the shareholders and the government, not to the creditors, etc., etc., XYZ. Is this clear, bete? Neutral means there should be no biasness when you're recording a transaction.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Any doubts on this? Then coming to enhancing characteristics. What are the enhancing characteristics? In addition, the two fundamental qualitative characteristics, there are four enhancing qualitative characteristics of useful financial information. The information which we present should have these characteristics. Then only we'll say that there is faithful representation or fair and true and fair view of the company. Comparability means what? The information which you present should be comparable with whom? With other entity as well as with the previous year data of the same company. See, users must be able to compare the financial statement of an entity over time to identify trends in its financial position and performance. Compare the financial statement of different entities to evaluate which company is better. If you present the information and the users are able to compare, that means true and fair view is given. Why comparability is important? So that the investors know, okay, the company is doing good or not when compared to other company, and whether the company is doing good when compared to the previous year. Now, when will you say the following information is comparable? Can I say when there is consistency and disclosures are given? What does consistency means? So you have covered this. That is the reason I'm asking you. Consistency means what?
Using the same standards everywhere, and if we are using straight line method, using the same method.
Yeah, let's take the example. If I say A company is there and B company, A company is using SLM, straight line method for depreciation, and B is using WDV, reducing down value. Now you say me, if I say the value of the asset here is 10,000 and the useful life is 10 years, so what is the depreciation first year? 1,000. If I say the value of the asset is 10,000 here and the rate is 25%, can I say what is the depreciation here now? 2,500. If a company is recording a depreciation of 1,000 and the company B is recording a depreciation of 2,500, can you compare these two? No, you can't compare this. Yes or no? Or it could be same A and it is A. Previous year the company was following SLM 10,000 and they say that this year we will follow this. We will record a depreciation of 2,000. Will you be able to compare? No. If the company was following previous year FIFO method and this year they are following weighted average cost, will you be able to compare? The value of the inventory will totally change and it will affect your profit. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that means what? Comparability. When it will be? When the accounting policy which the company is following should be consistent. So that is the reason if you have covered IAS 8, you know accounting policy. And we have learned the important part of IAS 8 is that what? Consistency. The accounting policy should be applied on consistent basis. And disclosure should be given in the notes to account so that the users get to know, okay, the detailed information about an element or a transaction. Any doubts in this comparability?
No, sir.
Then next one, timeliness. Timeliness means what? Information should be made available to the shareholders on time so that they can make their decision. That means you have to provide your financial report after the year end. Yes or no? You can maximum take 3 or 4 months. If you say that your accounting period is 1st Jan till 31st December 2000 and you publish the financial statement after 2 years, will this be important to the shareholders? You are publishing a financial statement after 2 years. Will this be important? No.
No.
The shareholder will say that you should provide on time so that we can take a decision. Clear? So the information, whichever information you're recording should be provided on timely basis. Then coming to the next one, verifiability. This means what? The information which we provide in the balance sheet and P&L should be verified. You can verify. Verification can be done direct or indirect. Can anyone read the first point for me? Direct verification means what?
Direct verification means verifying an amount or other representation through direct observation, for example, by counting cash.
Is this clear? Now, the information which is recorded in, can I say the information that is cash is recorded, asset is recorded? How you should verify it? No, verifiability should be there. That pinch. If a person or the auditor comes to check, okay, cash balance is $10,000. The company has 10 buildings. They can verify it. If they can verify it, true and fair view is given. Yes or no? So the verification can either be direct verification. You go and check. Then coming to the next one, indirect verification. Read it. Anyone?
Indirect. Shamya, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes,
In
yes.
Indirect verification means checking the inputs to a model, formula, or other technique and recalculating the outputs using the same methodology.
Example.
Example, recalculating inventory amounts using the same cost flow assumptions such as first in first out method.
Clear verification. See, little bit detail is that you just remember what are the characteristics and what does the following characteristics says you. Verifiability means what? Whatever information we are provided should have a proof or a evidence. Either the verification can be direct or indirect. Indirect means using some formula or some technique. If I say the closing inventory is of this much value, okay, you can physically count and say what is the other way. Can I say the other way is that you can use the cost of sale formula and calculate it. Through that way also you can calculate the what is your closing inventory. Any doubts in this? Coming to the last, understandability. That means what? The information which we provide in the financial statement should be what?
It should be understood by the intended users.
Users. When will you say the following information will be understood by the users? When they have what? Reasonable knowledge of business and economic activities. If you don't know anything about the business, anything about economics, will you be able to read the financial statement, or will you be able to understand what is written? No.
No,
Even though, if I say, even though if you're a science student, can I say you will be having a little bit idea how a business is done? Yes or no? If I take an example, if you come from a science background, even if you ask a science student what does business means, etc., what does cash means, he will be able to say yes or no. This basic understanding should be there. Then you can say that okay, the investor or the users can understand the information, and the information should be present in a such a way that the shareholders or the users understand it. You should not make it too complex for them to understand. Any doubts on this? So the presentation is important here. When coming to the point of view to understand, can I say the way you present the information in the balance sheet of P&L will increase the understandability of the users regarding the company information which you are providing?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Any doubts in this?
No, sir.
no,
Oh, am I slow or too fast, or is the pace okay?
Pace is okay.
Okay.
yes, sir, okay.
Now, what does this next topic means? Anyone? Sayed.
Cost constraints.
Ah.
Producing financial reports takes time and cost money.
Hmm.
When developing IRS standards, the board assess whether the benefits of reporting particular information outweigh the costs involved in providing it.
That means what now? Anyone can explain me this?
So the benefits of providing the information must be more than the cost incurred to provide it.
Okay, okay, okay. Is this clear? Or should I explain? I hope this is clear.
Yes, sir.
No,
Yes,
yes.
Yes, sir.
Cost means, let's take an example. If there is a change in an accounting policy, if there is a change in accounting policy, you know that you should do retrospective treatment. Yes or no? That means from the first day of the business, you should change. But if I say if you want to change from the first day till today and the amount is very low, but you will incur an expense which is 10x. Is this good? If I say you want to adjust an amount, let's take the answer comes around $100, and to adjust this it is costing you $1,000. Will you do this adjustment for faithful representation?
No.
Not really.
No. You can mention this in notes saying that, but basically this will not be there. This difference, it's a huge difference. When coming to practical world, it will not be there. So cost constraint means what? Whenever you're reporting, you should keep in mind that the benefit which is provided to the shareholders should be more when compared to the cost which you're incur to report to the shareholders or the stakeholders. Clear?
yes, sir.
Any doubts in the elements and the qualitative characteristics? Relevant, we have discussed faithful representation, comparability, timeliness, understandability, and verifiability. These are the 6 principles for the information which you record in the financial statement. Now, coming to the next concept known as key concepts. Now, whenever you want to record anything, or whenever you are starting with any IS or IFRS, these are the 5 important points you should remember. Recognition. When will you recognize the following item? Yes or no? Can I say the key elements are what here now? Asset, income, expense, liability, and equity. So you have to record this. So you have to see the recognition criteria, the measurement, at what value you will be recording, presentation. How should you present on the face of the financial statement in P&L or in balance sheet? Disclosure. What are the disclosure or additional information that you should give regarding the element, that is asset, liability, income, equity? And derecognition. When should you de-recognize the element from your book, or when should you stop recognizing the following element? Are these 5 points clear? Now, whenever we start studying any IS or IFRS, we will be learning this 5. And one thing additional, the definition or the meaning of the following IS or IFRS. Recognition means what? When to record an item in financial statement. Measurement, at what value you will record. Presentation means what? How and where will you present this? Disclosure means what? What is the additional information that you should give? Let's take, I have an asset known as building. What is the additional information or additional information I should give in the notes to account? You should learn that also. Derecognition. When will you derecognize the building from your books of accounts? Is this clear? Any doubt? These 5 key concepts. All basic only today. Today also, and the next class also basic only I will be doing. Then coming to recognition and derecognition. Now you say me, when will you recognize a following item? As you have studied IS 16, IS 40, each standard will give the recognition criteria. If you remember, IS 16 says what? That an asset should be recorded when? Economic benefit are there and controlled by the company, and cost can be measured reliably, if you remember. So now the IS and IFRS which have developed, they have some recognition criteria. These recognition criteria have been developed through what? The conceptual framework, the principle which is given here. Now, what is the principle when coming to recognition? Item means what? Asset, liability, equity, expense are only recognized in the financial statement if they meet the definition of one element. Elements means the asset, liability, any transaction or item. However, not all items meeting these definitions are recognized. Elements are recognized if recognition provides user with useful information. Yes or no? You will recognize a following item when it provides what? Useful information. If it is not providing useful information, will you record? No, you will not record it, because your financial statement will be more complex if you record this. If it's not providing any useful information, do not record it. So element, that is an asset, liability, income, will be recorded when it provides useful information. In other words, recognition must provide what? Relevant information, a faithful representation of asset or liability, and resulting income, expense, or equity movement. So can I say, when will you record an item? When will you will record an item when it provides useful information. When will you say that a following item will provide useful information? When it is relevant and there is faithful representation of the following item. Any doubts on this?
No, sir.
Now, if I say you have a cryptocurrency, now you should record or not? There is no standard. There is no standard. You know this is an asset. Now it is an asset. Should you record this asset in your balance sheet of P&L? Should you record this cryptocurrency in your balance sheet of P&L? Yes, because it is providing what? Useful information to the shareholders. Clear? Useful information, relevant and faithful representation. Then recognition might not provide relevant information. There is uncertainty over the existence of the element, or there is a low probability of an inflow or outflow of economic resource. If you see that the probability of the inflow and outflow from that element is low, you will not record it, because if the inflow and outflow is not probable, can I say the certainty of that existing is very low? It's uncertain. So if it is uncertain, will this provide information, relevant information? No, it will not provide relevant information. If you remember provision and contingent liability, yes or no? Provision you record it, but when coming to contingent liability, can I say you only disclose it because the probability is very low? If I say today I know I have an asset, but there is no future economic benefit, will you record it? I will not record it. I will not be getting any economic benefits. So it is not relevant to the users. I will just disclose it. Is this clear? Recognition. When will you record a following item? You will record a following item when it provides what? Useful financial information. Now, anyone read the important notes which I have given in case of recognition, beta.
Recognition of an element might not provide a faithful representation if there is a very high degree of measurement uncertainty. Judgment is required in deciding if recognition of an element is appropriate. This is why specific recognition criteria vary from IFRS standards to another, from one to another. If an asset or liability is not recognized, disclosure may be required to ensure users fully understand the reporting entity's economic transactions and the implication that these may have on future earnings and future cash flows.
Okay. Now, can I say the recognition criteria will vary for each standard to standard? And they are saying what? Recognition of element might not provide a faithful representation. You know that, okay, the element is relevant, it will provide. But you have to record this when it is providing relevant information plus what? Faithful representation. But what is the standard saying there? What is conceptual frame saying there? Recognition of element might not provide a faithful representation if there is a very high degree of measurement uncertainty. Measurement uncertainty, you are not able to measure it. If you're not able to measure it, will you record it? You will not be able to record it. Under IAS 16, if you don't know the cost, will you record it? No. These two lines are very important when coming to the conceptual framework. Whenever you have any question whether the element should be recorded or not, yeah, it will be recorded when it provides useful information, that is relevant and faithful representation, and the probability should be more, and it should not have any uncertainty regarding the measurement concept. Any doubts on this?
No, sir.
No. Now let me take an example here. Now let's take you have a receivable of $10,000. If I say you have a receivable of $10,000, now when coming to this receivable you have 10,000. Now I say that I know that I will not be receiving 2% of this. I will not be receiving 2% of this. So what we will create, if I say I have a receivable of $10,000, you create a bad debt, yes or no? That we know that for sure for 2% will not be received. So how much is 2% here of 10,000?
400.
400 or 200?
200.
200.
200. Yes or no? 200. Now, this was based on your past experience, saying that every year 2%, 2%. I was knowing that. So you recorded this as a bad debt. Yes or no in your books? Bad debt. It is an expense or not now, say me? Yes, it's an expense. Now, if I say COVID came, or war is going on, you have one of the supplier in Ukraine. Now, not supply, you have all of your customers in Ukraine. Now, you only say me during the time of COVID or during the time of war, will you be able to estimate how much is the amount you will not receive? Or it is uncertain?
It's uncertain.
Uncertain, yes or no? There is very high degree of measurement uncertainty. Today you mentioned 2%, but you don't know war is going, COVID is there. Do you know? No. Will you be able to record this? You will not be able to record it because you're not able to make the, it will not be faithful representative because it has what? High degree of measurement uncertainty. You can't simply say that, sir, I have $10,000, war is going on, so I think 80% I will not receive. This 80% is what? Uncertainty. It's very high degree of judgment here. So this will not provide a faithful representation. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts on this? This and these two lines are very important. Do understand that. Your question regarding if any element should be recognized will be from these two lines only. So recognition, when will I say that the following item I will record? When it provides relevant information and faithful representation. When we say that faithful, it is represented when there is no high degree of measurement uncertainty, the value which you measure. And when coming to recognition also, the probability of occurrence is more rather than non-occurrence. Then coming to de-recognition. When will you de-recognize the following item? If I say I have an asset, when will I de-recognize it? Can I say when I sell it, I will de-recognize it? In case of liability, can I say I have a liability of $10,000? I repaid this $10,000 to the bank. Can I say I will remove this from my books of accounts?
Yes, sir.
Yes. In case of asset, when you lose the control or ownership or etc., no economic benefits and has no present obligation for the liability. So when will you derecognize an asset? When you lose the control. When coming to liability, when there is no present obligation. Can anyone read this? Tahana, read back.
Accounting for derecognition should faithfully represent the changes in an entity's net assets as well as any assets or liabilities retained.
Yes, next.
This is achieved by derecognizing any transferred, expired, or consumed component, derecognizing a gain or loss on the above, and recognizing any retained component.
Then
Sometimes an entity might appear to have transferred an asset or liability. However, derecognition would not be appropriate if exposure to variations in the element's economic benefits is retained.
is this clear? Any doubts on this? This last line, can I say it's regarding substance over form?
Yes, sir.
Hmm? Derecognition. See, these all things don't go in much detail. Just understand the basic principle of this. As you will learn each and every standard, now again you will be having what is the recognition criteria for IS 16, etc. Here only learn, okay, when we will do recognition criteria, when it is relevant and faithfully represented. Derecognition, when we lose the control of the asset and when we transfer the liability. So can I say whenever you lose the control of an asset, you will sell it. Either you will have a loss or either you will have a gain. Same case in liability. You have to settle $10,000. The bank is saying they settle 9,000 only. You have an income. The bank is saying that settle 1,000 extra because you are doing the payment late. You have a loss. Or you remember IS 16 where you have revaluation in your OC, and after that once you sell the asset you transfer that. Is this clear? Only to understand the basic of asset liability, when will you record, when will you derecognize? Any doubts in the recognition and derecognition part? Can we do a question now regarding recognition?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Pakka. What about others?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sure.
Chalo now. Now, what did I mention when coming to conceptual frame? What are the questions you will be getting? Anyone? I mentioned you already that what are the questions that will be coming in the exam. Two type of questions.
So, applicability of a standard.
Then
If the applied standard is right treatment.
right treatment. Okay. So, what are the type of questions? Question in a case will be given. Case will be given, and what should you do for the case? Treatment as per conceptual framework. Any doubts on this?
No, sir.
This is the first type of question. What is the second type of question? The second type of question is IES or IFRS consistent with conceptual framework. These are the two types of question which will be getting. Any doubts on this? Now, how do you answer? How to answer conceptual framework question? Write down this, as I mentioned, rough notes. Even though if you have not written the detailed one, you would have just written what does relevant means, what does faithful representation means, etc. XYZ. See, whenever you get the question regarding conceptual framework, what is the first sentence you should write? An element. What are the elements here now? Asset, liability, income, expense, equity. An element, asset, liability, equity, income, and expense, can I say, will be recognized. When will you recognize this? In financial statements. If it provides relevant information and faithful representation. This will carry 1 marks. Any doubts on this? An element means what? You have to decide based on the case. If I say cryptocurrency means an asset will be recognized in the financial statement if it provides relevant information and faithful representation. 1 marks for this. If you have a question regarding this topic, conceptual framework. What is the second point? There is no uncertainty. Yes or no? If there is no uncertainty, then only you can record it. Now, what is the third point you should write? The definition of definition of the element. What is the fourth point you'll be writing? Conclusion. This is the way you should answer any conceptual framework question. Is this clear, bete? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes. Any doubts here? No, no.
No, sir.
Have you written this?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, can anyone read the first question for me now? Today, how many are there? Just can you read the question, bete? Anyone else?
Reliance agrees.
One.
Sorry, you continue.
Reliance agrees to guarantee a $100,000 bank loan taken by its subsidiary King. There are no current indicators that King will default on the loan, and it is forecast to generate sufficient cash flows to service its debt in the next year. Required discuss whether a liability should be recognized by Reliance with reference to the conceptual framework.
Now, what is the first thing you should do? You should first understand the requirement. What is the requirement here? Discuss whether a liability should be recognized by Reliance with reference to conceptual framework. Yes or no? They are mentioning that a liability should be recorded. Discuss whether a liability should be recorded or not in reference to the conceptual framework. They are not saying any standard. A simple question is given that I am Reliance, you are my subsidiary. You have taken a loan of $100,000. I have guaranteed to the bank. If I guarantee it to the bank, then only they will give you the loan. So I've guaranteed to the bank that it is my subsidiary. If King will not pay, I will pay you. Yes. Now what they mention, there are no current indication that King will default on the loan. They are saying that there is no indication that King will default on the loan. But now the question is regarding whose book? Should we record the liability in Reliance? They are asking in the case of Reliance, not in case of King. Yes or no? King, if it has taken a loan, they will for sure, because there is a present obligation to pay. But they are saying in case of what? Reliance. Reliance has done a guarantee saying that if King will not pay, we will pay. Now you say me whether liability should be recorded or not. Yes or no?
No,
No.
it shouldn't be recorded.
No,
No
sir.
liability. Sinchan is saying, Shamya is saying no. What about others?
No liability, sir.
No liability. Chalo, say me why?
So because the loan is taken by its subsidiary, so it should not be recorded in the books of Reliance.
In the books of Reliance. Okay, but Reliance is guaranteeing, no?
But sir, there are very less chances that it will default.
Yes, this is the answer. It is very less chances that it will default. So will you recognize as a liability? What are the condition for recognition? What did I mention? An element should be recognized when? Relevant and faithful representation. Yes or no? In case of faithful representation, we discussed that. And in case of relevant also, we discussed that information is not relevant when the probability of an outflow is very low. Can I say the probability of outflow is very low here?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
We will
sir.
not record a liability. Now, if I say this question comes for 4 marks, how will you write down this? Let's take 4 marks. Assume. How will you write down now? Chalo, say me. What is the first one you'll write down?
First, we'll write an element or a liability is recognized if it provides relevant information and faithful representation, and it has a high probability of occurrence.
Can I write down a liability will be recognized? Yes or no? A liability will be recognized when?
If it provides relevant information, faithful representation, and if it has a high chance of occurring in future, high probability.
Can I say you will get 1 marks here now?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Now, can I say after this what should we write down? There is no uncertainty. Is there here uncertainty?
There is no uncertainty, so they are certain that this won't happen. Like,
So can I say a liability will be recognized in the financial statement if it provides relevant information and faithful representation. Now, in this case, can I say this question is regarding recognition rather than the other part of the conceptual framework? It's not that they are saying a case is given and what should you do? Yes or no? They are not saying that a question is given, you are not able to identify what you should record, then you can follow this. But can I say here a lot of importance is given to recognition part here rather than the measurement or etc xyz or what value etc. So can I say we also learned an important line that recognition might not provide relevant information if there is uncertainty over the existence. Now the second point which I mentioned, there is no uncertainty. In this case, is there uncertainty or no uncertainty? Ah,
No uncertainty.
so now you say me how we should answer now. What we will do now?
so the probability of that occurring is very low.
So how will you mention this now? Can I say there should be no uncertainty? Change this. There should be no uncertainty. Now I will copy this and also write down here. So I have done this. I have written the basic point. Now can I say a little bit? Can I say that Here, relevant and information is relevant if there is no uncertainty or certainty over the existence. Can I write down this point and get one more marks here now? This point. Recognition might not provide relevant information if there is uncertainty over the existence of the element or if there is a low probability of an inflow or outflow. Here, the probability in case of Reliance, is it low or not? Yes or no?
It's low.
So can I say now, next point, what can I write down now? Can I say I should link to the case also now? Should we link to the case or not better now?
We should link.
Yes. Any doubts here now?
No, sir.
No. So now what can we write down here? How will you link to the case here now? Chalo, 1 minute. Can I say we have to write down the definition of an element also?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So can I write down what is the definition of liability here? I will copy and paste here. Huh? Any doubts on this? No?
No, sir.
A present obligation of entity to transfer. What is a liability? Let me amend this. Present obligation to transfer an economic resource as a result of past event. Now you say me, is there a present obligation to transfer an economic resource here?
No, sir.
No.
No? No, pakka.
No, sir.
If I say king will default, then?
Then there is.
But you say me today if I have guaranteed someone, but today can I say that I know obligation could be there? A liability is the present obligation to transfer economic resource as a result of past event. Can I say Reliance will have a present obligation to transfer economic resource because of the past event, that is they have guaranteed the loan to the king, and if king will default, Reliance will have the obligation to pay? Yes or no? Can we write down the sentence? So till now you have just written the element should be recognized. Then you should write down that recognition might not provide relevant information if there is uncertainty over the existence. And I say that liability is a present obligation to transfer economic resource as a result of past event. See, there is no here you can write in your own words. You can first write down the liability, or you first can link to the case, etc. Anything you can write down. It's not a particular format. Why I've given you this? So that it will be easy for you to write down this and get marks. Now say me, how should I write down here now?
Sir, can we write like there might exist a liability because there might be an obligation to transfer the resource, but it won't be recognized due to its low probability of incurring?
Simple, whatever way you can write down, bete. Here I am showing you single line so that you be comfortable with the way of writing. You can write down in simple points also. It's not that you have to write the same way, but try to write down simple sentences, one sentence. It's not that every time you combine together and write down in a paragraph. Avoid that. Do avoid paragraphs in SBR. Just write down simple sentences. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now, can I say, in this case, can I say the past event is what here, beta? In this case, the past event is that Reliance has guaranteed, yes or no? Reliance has guaranteed. Reliance has guaranteed what?
A bank loan by subsidiary.
Reliance has guaranteed to pay the loan amount to the bank if king will default. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, so can I say for Reliance it will be a present obligation when king will default here? In
Yes.
this case, we are saying that king will not default. So can I say there is an uncertainty over the outflow of the economic resource? So this agrees that liability will not be recorded. Any doubts on this? So we can say that recording liability will not provide relevant information to the stakeholders or shareholders. In this case, the past event is that Reliance has guaranteed to pay the loan amount to the bank if king defaults. This is from the question only. If you will not write down this also, no issues. But now, what is the important point here now? Can I say, in the case, there are no suggestions, that Reliance there are no suggestions that Reliance guarantee will be called up to be paid. Yes or no? In the given case, there is no suggestion or there is no thing that we can confirm that Reliance will have to pay for sure. Because can I say why? Why it is? Can I say they have there is no indicator that king will default the loan will be called up because king is in a good position. That means the probability of outflow is very low, and can I say thus this will not provide faithful representation. Yes or no? Is this clear? Which is the most important point here now? This one marks, this one marks, this one marks, 3 marks. Even though if you not write down these 2 points, it's okay. No, this one also carries marks, 0.5 marks or 1 marks, the definition. If you not write this one also, it's okay. Then can I say what is the other point we can write down here? So what could be the conclusion here now from this? Should we record a liability here now?
No, sir.
Hmm? No. So can I say, how will I write down the conclusion here? Can I say, therefore, recognition of liability will not, can I say, therefore, liability should not be recorded as recognition of liability will not provide relevant information to the users. Relevant information to the users of the financial statement. Is this clear now?
Yes, sir.
What about others?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, if you had to write this answer, will you write in a different way or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So that means You should just follow the basics and write down the answer. It's not that there will be for sure a format. A basic format is there. Your English can change, your sentences can change, however, etc. You can start with this also. A liability is a present obligation to transfer economic resource as a result of past event. Then you can write down Reliance has guaranteed to guaranteed a loan to the subsidiary. If subsidiary will default, Reliance will have to pay. So can I say there is a past event also? And if the chances of the default is very high, then Reliance will be having a obligation. But can I say an information is recognition may not provide relevant information if there is low probability of outflow of the economic resource? No need to write the full sentences. You can write down information will not provide relevant information as there is uncertainty over the existence of the element, or information will not provide relevant information as the outflow of the economic resource is very low. Then you can write down in the case that seems that king is in a very good position and will not default, so Reliance need not record a liability as recognition of liability will not provide relevant information to the shareholders or the users of the financial statement. This way also you can write down. Any doubts in this? No, no.
No, sir.
No. So now read the second question, beta.
Bottle operates in the publishing industry. The Bottle brand is highly respected, and as a result, the books published by Bottle receive extensive coverage online and in national and international press. The brand is internally generated and, in accordance with IAS 38 intangible assets, is not recognized in Bottle's financial statements. Required discuss the extent to which the accounting treatment of the Bottle brand is consistent with the conceptual framework.
This question is type 1 or type 2 now?
Type 2.
Type 2. The above question which we have done was what?
Type 1.
Type 1. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So here what should we do now here? In the given scenario here, what they are saying us to? Chalo now. What they're saying, Bottle operates in a publishing industry. The Bottle brand is highly respected, and as a result, the book published by the Bottle receives extensive coverage online and in national and international press. The brand is internally generated and, in accordance with IS 38 intangible asset, is not recognized. Yes or no? Do you know that or not? As per IS 38, will you record internally generated assets?
No, sir.
Why? Do you have any idea? You have already learned, so you know the basic. Why?
Sir, because it's not reliably measured. It can't be measured reliably.
Okay. What about others?
Sir, it can't be separated from the entity's net assets.
Net assets are
Like it can't be separated basically.
okay. We will do this. We will. This, if your IS 38 concept, IFRS 38 is clear, then you will be able to write this answer. Yes or no? Here they are saying to compare conceptual framework and IS 38. Clear? So this we will attend later, not now. Once we will do this measurement concept and then come and discuss this. Okay. Huh? Now, should we take a break? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let's take a break. So till now what we have learned, only the recognition part and the way you should answer the question. See, the format, the way you answer also will change here. Only do remember the format which I've given. First write down the element should be recorded or not, then there should be no uncertainty. But in the given question, can I say uncertainty is there over the existence here? Low probability is there. Even though I mentioned here recognition might not provide because uncertainty is there. Now then you will link to the case and write down here. So now let's take a break of I will give you 20 minutes break. Be back. We will do measurement and this part and complete this conceptual framework. Okay. The
Yes.
time, what is the time? 10 o'clock. 10:20. We will resume. One break you have. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Chalo, come back.
सर ये नोट्स आप सेंड कब तक करेंगे?
आज कर दूंगा. I'll share it.
सर कहाँ पे करेंगे, ग्रुप पे?
Group पे करूंगा. I thought that I'll create a Google Classroom. No need. I'll share in the group only.
ओके सर.
What should I do? Should I create a Google Classroom or should I share in the group only?
नॉट रिक्वायर्ड सर, ग्रुप
Group,
पे.
sir.
Group.
Group. Okay then. Because many students say sir Google Classroom पर डाल दो. I create Google Classroom for them. Simple. Everyone are back? I mentioned no 9 o'clock you have till time. You should turn on your videos. Now everyone should turn on your videos. Morning 8 o'clock I understand. Now what? If not, no one will turn on the camera. No, then I'll not start the class only. See, if you turn on the camera, I see everyone. I have other screen also. I see that. I get to know whether you're listening or not. That is important. If not, see, that is the reason I keep on asking clear, clear, clear. If your cameras are on, no, if your videos are turned on, I get to know, okay. By seeing your face, okay, everything is clear. If not, I'll not get to know. I have to keep on repeating. Clear with this, done. Did you understand? Did you understand? I keep on repeating them. If you turn on your cameras, I'll get to know, okay, you have understood. If not, I have to repeat. Clear, clear. What should I do now? You say me. What about others? Sayed, you mentioned, sir, tomorrow we will. See, if your cameras are on, no, if you're not active, if your mind is somewhere else, I can see. I can call your name. Reply, no reply only. See. Arey baap re baap. It should be two-way communication, not one-way, Baba. Understand that it's not only a calculation paper. Okay, one has messaged. See, why I'm saying, see, if you do not turn also, no issues for me. I will not get to know. I will be teaching my part. I will be doing. Then at the end, you will say, sir, कुछ समझ में आया ही नहीं, paper clear हुआ ही नहीं. Now, how can I guarantee? Were you studying or not that side? Were you listening to the class or not? Complete most of the work in the class. Try to learn a lot in the class only, so that during your revision, you have to spend less time and do it. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Only one Sinchana will be saying yes, sir, yes, sir. Others, so, baap re baap. I have to take 2 or 3 times. When you see, when other classes are going on where 30, 40 students are there, the tutor will not keep on calling the names of the student. They will see if the cameras are turned on, they'll see their face, they'll get to know. And by seeing their faces and they are regular in the class, we ask them, okay, Sinchana, is this clear? Som, is this clear? Etc. Others, we will not ask only them. We'll not get to know. We can't waste our time doing this. I thought that I'll complete this and I'll start with IFRS 18 also today. But I thought IFRS 18 also I'll complete, but I'll not be able to complete. I'll be able to complete only half. Koi nahi, chalo. That is the reason I say turn on the camera, I get to know. Other than that, nothing. Okay, some emergency situation, someone is calling, etc. You can turn off. But full 4 hours you're turning off means. Okay. Any doubts in recognition, bete? When will you recognize? When it provides relevant information and faithful representation. Faithful representation means there should be no uncertainty. The probability of inflow or outflow should be more, not low. Now coming to measurement. Measurement means what? Measurement का मतलब क्या है? Measurement अंदर ये नो.
So the value in which we record them,
What should we record?
the elements,
What are the elements?
income, expense, asset, liabilities, and equity.
Yeah. Sana, you had the doubt to matching. Do remind me, huh?
Okay, sir. Okay.
नहीं तो मैं भूल जाऊंगा. We'll try to discuss today only. If I'll see, if I'll not, I'll start with IFRS 18. I'll do basic today only. We will discuss that. If not, with the next topic, I did not discuss this because it will again be confusion for you. Because the conceptual framework was revised, everything happened, many advantages, and that is not in line. So we'll discuss this later. That is the reason I made. Today we'll try. After the class, we will discuss that. I did not want to discuss in between because you will have a confusion between then again, sir. Should we use accrual or should we use matching principle? That is the reason. I have not discussed it.
Okay, sir.
Okay, chalo. But do remind me, that is important. Now coming to measurement basis. When recognizing, today we have studied recognition criteria. The example which we have done of liability, recognition criteria did not met only. So no need of measurement, yes or no? If it is recognized, you will record it. So you need some value that should be used to record the transaction. Now, when recognizing financial statement, elements must be quantified in monetary terms. That means what? When you recognize any element, when it meets the definition or meets the criteria for recognition based on conceptual framework or as per respective IS and IFRS, you should record this on what? In a quantified in monetary terms, a monetary item, a monetary value. Is this clear? The conceptual framework refers to two main measurement bases, historic cost and current value. So conceptual framework gives two measurement bases. One is historic cost, one is current value. Historic cost means when you purchase an asset. Let's take, I have a building. This is my building. The building I purchased at $10,000. Now, this is what, can I say historic cost, the cost when I purchased it? Yes or no? Today I purchased, so the cost is 10,000. After 1 year, the value of this building is 12,000. Now you only say, should I record after 1 year the building as 10,000 or 12,000? What will you say? Should I record the building at 10,000 or 12,000?
If you're talking about historic cost, then 10,000.
If I say about current value, then 12,000.
1,000.
Now you should decide whether should we use historic cost or current value. Yes or no. You should decide whether I should use historic or current value. Now coming to that, I hope historic cost and current value is clear. Current value means today what is the value of the asset, liability, etc. So historic cost is based on the transaction price when an asset was acquired, created, or a liability was incurred. This measurement basis does not generally reflect changes in value. Historic cost means when you purchase the asset or when the liability was incurred, at that time the amount was decided. After that, the values will not change. But when coming to current value does reflect change in value. Every year or every 6 months, the value keep on changing. The conceptual framework refers to three current value measurement. So in current value also you have further three classification. The first one is what? Fair value. This we will be covering in upcoming the first standard IFRS 13 after IFRS 18. So fair value means what? Fair value means if I go to the market and sell an asset, how much will I get? And when you're selling an asset, you should not stick to a particular market. You should see the overall market, overall view of the market. It's not that I have an asset, I will sell to my friend only. Even though my friend is paying 2,000 low, that will not be a fair value. Fair value means from the market point of view, not from your point of view. Saying that Soham is my very good friend, I will sell to him only, even though he is paying 3,000 low, 2,000 low. No. Fair value means the price in the market. Is this clear? We'll discuss this again in detail in IFRS 30. Then value in use or fulfillment value. What does value in use means? You have learned, you have already covered basic or FR, etc. What is value in use? Value have covered this concept. चलो fast फटाफट.
The present value present value of the future cash flows.
Okay, present value of the future cash flow. Let's take, I have a building, and that building, if I sell in the market, I'll be getting something. Or can I say, in future, if I use this building for my business, I will be getting some future cash flow. Either you determine the value by taking to the market and selling it. If it's your intention to sell, even though your intention is not to sell, you will still go to the market and calculate the value. It's not that if you're selling, then only you will get the fair value. No. When coming to value news, you will see, okay, in future, this building will provide these much economic benefit. So I will take the present value of that, so that I will know what is the current value. true value of today, because today's 1 rupee is not equal to tomorrow's 1 rupee. The basic concept of present value discounting. Is this clear? Value in use is the present value of cash flow expected to derive from the use of an asset and its ultimate disposal. Fulfillment value is the present value of resource transferred to a fulfiller liability. In case of liability, it's known as fulfillment value. Two, it's a liability, you have to pay someone. So to fulfill that, how much is the amount you're paying? Then coming to current cost. This is very rare, will not use much. This is being used much in IS to inventory. The cost of an equivalent asset consideration that would be received for an equivalent liability at the measurement date. What they saying, current cost means what? Today, if I go to if today I go to purchase in a market, let's take you have iPhone 13. If I go to a market to purchase a new one, the cost will be different. And if I use the iPhone 13 for 2 years, the cost will be totally different. A second hand. Yes or no? So you have, if you want to know the actual value of the asset, you should see the same asset in the market with the same condition that has been used for 2 years, the battery backup, etc. Everything. Is this clear? Current cost means if I have an asset, same asset with the same condition, what is the value? Any doubts on this measurement basis? There are two types of measurement basis: historic cost and current value. Till now we have not decided which one we should use. What is the criteria to decide which one should be used? Only we have learned the two measurement basis: historic cost, current value. Historic cost means what? Taking the purchase price. When coming to current value means today what is the price in the market. Now coming to the selection of measurement basis, it's the most important part here now. How will you decide whether I should use historic cost or whether I should use fair value? Now I will give an example, you only will say me the answer. Let's take, I have purchased a building, and this building I'm using for my business purpose. I have bought this for $10,000. Now you say me, I will record this at what? Today $10,000. I will charge depreciation because the value is getting lower. I'm using it. So 1000. The value is 9,000. Now I say beta here, the fair value of this is 12,000. Yes. I say that you also have cryptocurrency. The value of the crypto today is 12,000. After 1 year, the value of the crypto is 40,000. Now you say me, in which one will you use the historic, in which one will you use the current value or the fair value?
First one historic and the second one fair value.
Why? What is it?
Because using historic value for the second one won't give fair, faithful representation.
That's 1 point. If you write down this, you'll get 1 marks. But if a cryptocurrency question comes, write down this. The fair value model should be used because it provides faithful representation. Done, 1 marks. Now, why? What are the logic or what are the conceptual framework says? As I mentioned, conceptual framework is a principle. It gives the basic idea, and you should apply that and identify. Now, coming to this, now see, the information provided to users by measurement basis must be useful. In other words, it must be relevant and offer a faithful representation of transactions that have occurred. Yes or no? Aim is what? To do true and fair view of the company, to show true and fair view of the company to the shareholders. How? You will recognize, yeah, you're showing. But when coming to measurement basis, also you can't manipulate. Your value of the asset is 10,000, you can't show 20,000. You can't. When selecting a measurement basis, this also carries 1 marks when you get a question regarding measurement basis. When selecting a measurement basis, the conceptual framework states that relevance is maximized. What they're saying that you mentioned that information should be relevant. When will the information be relevant? In case of measurement, relevance is maximized if the following are considered: the characteristics of the asset or liability, the way in which the asset or liability contributes to future cash flow. What is the characteristics of the asset or liability? The way in which the asset or the liability will contribute to the future cash flow. Can I say the example which we have taken about the building is what are the characteristics? Can I say I'm using this in the business? I'm not planning to sell this building. If the market rate is keep on going up and I'm showing this is in balance sheet, but what is my ultimate goal? Can I say my ultimate goal is to use this building for my production purpose, not for selling? If it was not from a business, can I say then I will show that at fair value? So that is the reason, if you remember IAS 40, fair value option is available. In IAS 16 also it is available. But can I say when my objective is that I want to sell the plant or the machine or building, can I say if I show fair value, it will give a true or relevant and faithful representation to the shareholders. So it's not determined fixed. You have to see what is the ultimate objective of that asset, the way in which the asset or liability will contribute to future cash flow. Can I say the building which I am using for my business will give me revenue? I'm not planning to sell it. If I'm not planning to sell, I will show at historic cost. It will provide a good presentation. If my plan is to sell the building, then I will show at fair value. Is this clear? You should just look to the actual, what are you doing with that asset. But when coming to cryptocurrency, what is the aim here? Can I say cryptocurrency? What will be the aim of the investors or the shareholders? If a company has purchased cryptocurrency, the aim will be that when it goes up, they will try to book a capital gain, a basic assumption. Any doubts on this? So that is the reason this is not a for sure rule. They are saying that relevance is maximized. You can try to maximize the relevance by considering these 2 points, considering a lot of factors, that the characteristics of the asset or liability, the way in which the asset will contribute to the company. This applies to the board when developing or revising an IFRS standard. Do remember IAS are based on previous framework and the framework has been revised. That is the reason accrual and matching also a difference is there. We will discuss that. Developing or revising any IFRS standard. Whenever they are developing or revising any standard, they should use these two important things and keep in mind and do the measurement basis. It also applies to preparers of financial statement when applying an IFRS standard that permits a choice of measurement basis. Yes or no? In each IS and IFRS, we have a choice. Either you can use historic cost, either you can use revaluation model or fair value can record. That the company will decide. Okay, the company will decide, okay, yeah, if we record the asset value this much, it's been too long. The value of the asset is very low. Now we know that for sure this is the amount the company will be getting by selling an asset. Or in the future, they will have this much economic benefit. But now you only say, when thinking from the point of view of fair and faithful representation, historic cost is good or fair value is good?
Fair value.
Fair value.
Fair.
Can I say fair value aims for providing fair and faithful representation? But can I say in fair value there can be manipulations? In historic cost, then there will be no manipulation. So there are advantages, disadvantages. So that is the reason in each specific standard it is determined. If it is not determined, think from a common man, write down the answer, you'll get the marks. Okay? Is the measurement basis clear? What is the important point here? You have to remember, whenever you're not able to identify, let's take, you don't know at what value you should measure. Just apply this and write down and come in the exam. As per conceptual framework, I think that we should follow fair value model rather than this. If you're not able to identify any standard. See, most of the standards will say at historic cost only for the first year. When coming to IS 41, IFRS 9 says that at fair value. Clear with this? So this is also important. Let me bold this. Any doubts on this? Have we discussed recognition? Have we discussed measurement? Now, de-recognition also we discussed. 3 done. Now coming to presentation and disclosure. What does presentation means? Presentation means this asset will be shown on the face of the financial statement, either in non-current asset, current asset, etc. XYZ. Effective presentation and disclosure. Effective presentation and disclosure is a balance between allowing entities to flexibly report relevant information about their financial performance and position, and requiring information that enables comparison to be drawn year on year and with other entities. They are saying what the presentation and disclosure should be in a such a way that the information should be comparable. Yes or no? If one entity is following, let's take, you know, the what is the format of PL? Can anyone say me? Revenue, cost of sale. You get GP? Yes or no? After this GP, what do we write down, bete?
Administration and distribution expenses.
Then operating profit.
Operating profit.
Now this is the operating profit. Now you only say me, bete. Some companies will do what? You know, no share of profit from associate. Associate is a company where you have holding of 20 or less than 50 percentage. You record a single line adjustment. Have you covered this in your FR?
Not sure, sir.
No consolidation में नहीं. No. Okay, chalo. No issue. If I say one company is saying that we will record investment income before operating profit, and one company is saying that we will record investment income after operating profit, will this be comparable? Can you compare the operating profit of one company and other company?
No, sir.
No, because the presentation way is different. So whenever it comes to presentation, it should provide relevant information. That is the reason your IFRS 18 was introduced. Operating profit was not defined till now. Operating profit was not defined. If you would have seen 100 companies balance sheet, it is mentioned by IFRS Foundation, only the body. They have done a research saying that out of that 69 companies will report operating profit. Out of that, there are 9 different definitions for operating profit. In 69 companies, for 69 companies, there is 9 different definitions for operating profit. So now, will this be useful for the shareholders to compare any company? No. That is the reason IFRS 18 was introduced. We'll discuss this later. But is this clear, the presentation point? You have to present properly. You should show current asset under current asset, non-current asset under non-current asset. You can't classify non-current asset under current asset. It will be manipulation of your liquidity ratio. The board believes that entity specific information is more useful than standardized description. Yes or no? It depends on company to company. They have to decide whether this will provide more faithful representation or this one will provide more faithful representation. Duplication makes financial information less understandable. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Now see here. Classification. What does this mean now? Anyone read? Let's Sayed. Read the last
Sir,
sentence. Last sentence, pado.
classification of an asset or liability into separate components may provide relevant information if components have different characteristics.
Now you only say if you have an asset, all the asset will you show in one head only asset, or will you further divide it?
Further divided into various components like non-current asset or current asset.
Can I say if you do this, it is providing what? Relevant faithful representation?
Yes, sir.
Clear? Any doubts in this now? In this slide?
No, sir.
No? Okay. I hope the measurement, recognition, presentation, and disclosure, everything is clear. Now coming to P&L and OCI. You know no, that your P&L format is there and OCI is also there below. What is OCI? Other comprehensive income. Do you know what is the difference of P&L and OCI? Difference between P&L and OCI. Hmm.
OCI contains unrealized profits.
Arre baap re baap. I was knowing unrealized profit. Then P&L will contain what? Realized. Hmm. This is the understanding you have till now, no? Yes or no? Everyone. It's not about that. Everyone has the assumption saying that in P&L realized profit, realized will come, realized gain, and OCI unrealized expenses and gain will come. It's wrong. ISB also have not yet specified what will be coming in OCI. It's a lot of confusion. So that is the reason certain points are specified what will go to OCI and what will go to P&L as per respective standard. Now, what is the logic behind what is the item that will go to profit and loss and other comprehensive income? Now, a simple question. I say that I have a building, I am using this for my business purpose. Business purpose. If I'm using for the business purpose, am I planning to sell it? No. I am using the revaluation model. I get a revaluation surplus of 2000. I have one more property that I have given on rent and it is not my business. Here also my property is 10,000 and there is a gain of 2000. And I follow revaluation model or fair value model. Now you say me, you have learned the basic of IAS 16. If you remember, when any item as per IAS 16, there is a difference from the cost to this, a revaluation is done. Where will you show this revaluation gain, bete?
OCI.
OCI.
Everyone know this?
Yes, sir.
Know this, sir. हम OCI में बताएंगे. We will show this in OCI. But when coming to investment property, fair value has increased by 2000. Where will you show? OCI or PNL, bete? As per IAS 40. If you remember the. Yes?
PNL.
PNL. Yes or no? Abhi, I ask a question. Here do building hai. Then why are we showing differently? One in OCI, one in PNL?
Characteristics of two buildings are different.
Yes.
The intended use is different.
Yes. Can I say I ultimate know that my investment property is kept for resale or some other point? So that is the reason I know that fair value is changing. It will provide relevant information to the shareholder. That is the reason the difference I've taken in P&L. But when coming to revaluation gain, can I say the value will go up, come down, go up, come down? Can I say if I provide this information in my P&L or balance sheet, it will confuse the shareholders or not? Directly in the P&L. You can provide in OCA, not in P&L. Yes or no? If I provide, it will confuse or not? It will overstate your profits. But the ultimate use of this is what? To use in the business, not to sell. So you have to see what is the objective behind that. What is the objective of the asset, etc. Under OCI, we have further type also. In FR, it is not that. Reclassification. That we'll study later. In IFRS 18, we'll cover. But do understand profit and loss and other comprehensive income. Can anyone read the first line for me? Excuse me.
The conceptual framework states that the statement of profit or loss in the primary source of information about an entity's financial performance. As such, income and expenses should normally be recognized in the statement.
Okay, then.
In principle, all income and expenses are included in the statement of profit or loss rather than recognized as OCI unless an IFRS accounting standard requires otherwise, and all OCI is reclassified to profit or loss in a future period unless an IFRS accounting standard requires otherwise. The reclassification of expenses included in OCI in one period to the statement of profit or loss in a future period is discussed later.
Did you understand anything? Artha aita ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ?
No.
Huh? Huh? What about others? I'm not sharing the screen. I'm just asking everyone. Did you understand anything here? See, a lot of questions are there regarding this topic, PNL and OCA difference, previous year question papers. But now it will not be tested. It's very rare. But if it's a bad day, bad luck, it can come. We can't guarantee anything. But is the concept of the example which I've given regarding this point is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? I hope the example which I've already given you, the example of building in PP and IP is clear. Now, what they mentioned, whatever item will go to OCI, can I say it will be mentioned by respective standard? And one more discussion we have done, the reclassification. Can I say that reclassification we will discuss later, not now. If I start now, it will go above the head. That is
So,
the
if it's going to affect the statement of changes in equity,
you know something, you're saying something. Yes, it's around that only topic. Should I discuss now? Let me discuss. Let me give a few pointers to you. The Excel sheet I've not saved, and this Excel is reacting something. Hush. Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So we were in P&L OCI. Now you say me, if I say that item is there, revaluation gain of 2000, you recording OCI. From OCI, where will you take this, if you have any idea?
Statement of changes in equity.
Which head?
Revaluation surplus.
Revaluation surplus, yes or no? Now in revaluation surplus, you have balance of 2000. Now when you sell this asset, can I say this 2000 balance is still there here? This 2000, where should you transfer? Any idea?
Retained earnings?
Retained earnings, yes or no? Have you covered this or not? You have learned this basic. Once an asset is sold, the revaluation surplus will be transferred to retained earnings. Is this reclassification of expenses? This is not reclassification of expense. This is not reclassification. What is reclassification? 2000 recorded in OCI. From that revaluation surplus of 2000, this 2000 again you will take to PNL, and from PNL it will go to retained earnings. This is reclassification. This is not reclassification. This is actual reclassification. It's not that the item that is recorded in other component of equity you take to from revaluation surplus to retained earnings is reclassification. No, reclassification to P&L means what? Whatever is the balance you bring to P&L, and through P&L will go to retained earnings. The impact will be same,
So,
but the
but
way
only goes to P&L when there's a loss, right? Like when the revaluation shows loss.
see, this is not a reclassifying item. That is the reason. There are items which will be reclassified. There are items that will not be reclassified. This is not a reclassifying item. This will not happen in case of revaluation. Only I have given you the example to understand what is reclassification.
But only revaluation comes under OCI, right? What other things can come?
Other things will come a lot. You have not yet learned know the standards. A lot of things are there that will come under OCI. You only know OCI, revaluation gain will come. In your SBR 6 to 7 items you'll be learning.
Okay, so okay.
Yes, only I want here you to understand this. What does reclassification means? What does reclassification does not mean? This is not reclassification. This again you take to the P&L, and through P&L will go to retained earnings, then it is a reclassification. Clear? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts on this?
No, sir.
Oh. Okay, chalo then. That is the reason I've mentioned it, discuss later. Because in the first class, I can't discuss all these heavy topics. So what is important basic, I've done it. See now, the problem. I've not saved my Excel sheet. It did not get saved only. Any doubts in the conceptual framework now?
No, sir.
No? Okay. Now, can we do one more question now? Someone... No, sir. Okay, so again I have to. Now, we will do a question which it's in your Kaplan book only, which I've already done if you know cryptocurrency. Do you remember that question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Chalo, let me share the question with you. This was a question number 3. First, we will do this, then we'll come to question number 2. Again, I will write down. But can we start with the question?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Can anyone read the question for me?
Cryptocurrencies are digital currencies that operate independently of a central bank. Some banks now accept cryptocurrency in place of traditional currencies. The market price of cryptocurrency is highly volatile. Investors can earn large returns by buying cryptocurrency on an exchange when the quoted price is low and selling on an exchange when the quoted price rises. Cryptocurrencies have proved problematic with regard to financial reporting because they do not seem to fall within the scope of an issued IFRS or IAS standard. As such, preparers of financial statements must use conceptual framework to devise an accounting treatment that provides useful information to financial statement users. Using the conceptual framework, discuss how an entity might account for investment in cryptocurrency that it holds to trade.
Type 1 or type 2 question, beta, this is.
Type
Type
2.
1.
Type 1, type 2 question.
Type 1.
Type 1, yes or no? A scenario is given, you have to use conceptual framework. You don't know which IS or IFRS will apply. You have to write down the answer. Now say me, what is the format I have given you to start the answer?
An asset is recognized if it provides relevant information and faithful representation.
This is an asset, liability, equity, income, asset.
Asset.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Then give the definition of asset. Now I will give you 10 minutes. The question is for 5 marks. I am giving you 10 minutes. Write down the answer. You have your laptops open with you. Write down in the word, type it, and copy and paste in the chat box. I am giving you 10 minutes. Okay? The way I mentioned you simple lines. You should first identify whether asset or not, then recognition, then measurement. We have learned the measurement also. Here measurement will apply or not. Either fair value, historic cost. Write down that what is your point of view. Write down the answer. Chalo. 10 minutes. It's 10:58. 11:08. You should send your answers in the chat box. Please start writing. Please start. Have you started? Till now, you should have done with recognition,
Yes.
not with measurement. After this, today I'll share you question regarding conceptual framework only. 2 minutes pending. You have 2 minutes self. Anyone done?
Yes, sir, done.
Then what about others? Then share on chat box. Chat box. Copy and paste your answer. Chalo. If you say sir simply done, no, I'll get to know. Chalo, chalo. If you're done, then share. Okay, one have shared. Good. Okay, one only, one have shared. Sahana, yes. See, why I'm saying that if you write, you'll be perfect. This much only, nothing. I would have done this question. I wasted 10 minutes and mentioned you to fair value. Okay, okay. This question is for Sahana. 1 marks done. The asset is okay. Yes. Yes, there is certainty and there is high probability that inflow or outflow will be there. Okay, okay, okay. Hence, yes. I hope you have written 5 to 6 points, bete. Yes, Sana?
Yes, sir. Just 5 points.
Oh, good. Simple. 5 points. Spend 10 minutes, not more than this. If you see the actual answer, it's more than one page. Oh, one more have shared this. So, cryptocurrency can be identified because you hence it is like asset is something that okay, crypto happens. This is cryptocurrency can be a current asset. They have high volatility. But they do understand that if it is highly volatile, it does not mean it is for sure current asset. Just write down asset. Do not mention current asset. So हम अपना आंसर लिखा है ना बेटे. करंट एसेट के बदले खाली एसेट लिख दो. कई को कंफ्यूजन करना. एग्जाम में सोचेगा कि द स्टूडेंट does not know difference between current. It's not that for sure you will sell. Not good. So just write down simple asset. You have written assumption that you can write down if the company is planning to sell within 12 months, then current asset. ऐसे मेंशन किया चलेगा. We will learn this classification current non current. Again, highly volatile. Yes, good answer. So try to write in points, not in paragraphs.
सर वो यहाँ पे कॉपी पेस्ट किया ना तब उसमें होगा.
Okay, okay, जब कोई नहीं. Everyone done? 4 of them have shared me. What about others? Chalo, let's read. Okay, who's this? Sinchana, okay. Good answer, ma. Then Shami answer should be yes, 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 yes. Okay. See, if the question was for 5 marks, okay, would have got it. If I say the question was for 7 or 8 marks, then you would have done. We have learned one point now regarding measurement basis. Yes or no? When you decide for measurement basis, when selecting a measurement basis, conceptual framework says that relevance will be maximized when?
Characteristic of an asset.
Yes, and the way the asset or liability will contribute to the future cash flow. If you would have written this, 1 additional marks. You have written good. Your answers are 4 of them have shared. What about others? One more now. One, yes. Sayyid also have shared yes. Okay, okay, as it provides. See, all the answers are different, yes or no. But now once I've given you a format to write down, it is easy or not? Yes or no? Now, without giving a format, if I would have mentioned, write down the answer, it would be difficult or not? Say me now. A basic simple format for each chapter will help you to easily score marks. That is only important here. And that through practice only it will come. Okay? Now, this question, should I type out the answer?
Yes.
As you've done this question, should I type out?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, then I will write down a little bit detail. So now see, I will follow my step. Now, what is the first part we have written? Let me. Chalo. Now, what is the first one? We should write an element. Yes or no? An element that is asset, etc. You will write down definition, and then you'll write cryptocurrencies and asset, etc. So let's write down an asset should be recognized. An asset should be recognized in financial statement when it provides faithful representation and relevant information to the user. Yes or no? I will let me write the above. An asset will be recognized in the financial statement if it provides relevant information and faithful representation to the users of the financial. Clear with this? First sentence I've written this. Now what is the second sentence? There is no uncertainty. I will write down later also. What will I write down? First I will write down the definition of asset. Then I'll say, okay, cryptocurrency is an asset. This way. What is an asset? Asset is a present economic resource controlled by an entity. Yes or no? Or something else? Asset is an economic resource controlled by the entity as a result of past event. Now, even if you will not write down as a result of past event, no issues. In urgent, will not be able. Try to write. Now, can I say cryptocurrency is an asset now here? My cryptocurrency is an asset. Now, why is that it is an asset? Why it is an asset?
Because it's owned and controlled by the entity, and at a future date, it will drive economic resources into the company.
So, cryptocurrency is an asset because it is controlled by the entity and it will provide future economic benefits. Now, how could be the economic benefits? Can I say? I can write down this in brackets. Economic benefits. Can I say can be used to purchase some goods or can be traded? Yes or no? A basic sense I get this. If it's used like a currency, okay. But it's not a currency. Do understand that. I've written this. Okay. Then what is the next point I can write down better here?
Recognition.
Yes. Now coming to the recognition. Can I say cryptocurrency should be recognized because there is no uncertainty on the occurrence of this? Okay. Let's start with this. Cryptocurrencies should be recorded as an asset, should be recognized as an asset. See, even though in the exam spelling errors, mistakes will be there, no proper sentence frame, do not worry, do not correct that, keep on writing, typing and move forward. It's if it's a huge blunder, then change it. If not, move, because the examiner will understand. Here professional marks are only for 4, no, do not care much. So cryptocurrency should be recognized as an asset. So what could be this? Now, how we will write down the sentence?
As there is no uncertainty over the existence of the element and
Yes.
the probability of economic
Benefit is high.
is high.
Cryptocurrency should be recognized as an asset as there is no uncertainty and the outflow of future economic benefits
Sir, isn't it the inflow of future economic benefit?
Oh, sorry. Yes, 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 yes. That only I came to correct. I did not correct it. And the inflow of future economic benefit is, what should I write down?
Highly probable.
Highly probable, or is high, etc. XYZ.
So we can also add that it is reliably measured.
We will be coming to that now, beta. First, we have written the recognition, then we will come to measurement part.
Okay.
It can be reliably measured because you have purchased it. Yes or no? You can write down that in case of measurement initially, you can write down initially we'll record at the cost which we have purchased. Over the years, we will use the fair value because it is volatile, etc.
Yes, sir.
So, is this clear? Or you see here, you can write down it is highly probable, thus provides relevant and faithful information to the users of the financial system. You can add this also. Let's add this also. Thus provides relevant information and faithful representation to the users of the financial statements. Clear with this? We are done with this. One moment. Now coming to the other part. What should I write down now? Measurement? Yes or no? We have recorded now. Can I say as per conceptual framework? In case of measurement, what should we follow? As per conceptual framework, for measurement, no, we will write this one. For measurement, the conceptual framework outlines two criteria. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Two conditions or two conditions. So what is the first one there now?
The characteristic of the element.
Can I say before that we can write down that measurement basis can be done on historic cost or current value? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
For measurement basis, conceptual framework outlines two types of two measurement basis. Let me write down this one. Measurement basis. That is the first one is what? Historic cost. Historic cost and current value. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Current value. Any doubts on this? Now, what can we write down? Can I say we can write down now the part or the thing which has been outlined here? Can I say when selecting the measurement basis, the conceptual framework states that relevance can be maximized. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Maximized if the following conditions are considered. So what is the first one condition? See this, when will you write down? If the question is for 6 to 7 marks, then write down. If not, just write down. So let me copy and paste. Let's save time here. Is this clear? After this, what should we write down now? Now, Semi, how will you choose the measurement basis better here?
Sir, first we look into the characteristics of the asset. So its intended use is to trade in the market. So fair value will be more relevant than historic cost, because as the markets are volatile and it might be traded in the current period.
Yes, yes, yes. So how should I start? Can I say cryptocurrencies are mostly used for trading purpose by many entities. By many entities. And the characteristic, or can I say the main aim is to sell the crypto when there is a capital gain. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So it would be better if we follow better if we follow current value measurement basis. Can I say that is fair value under that also, as it is mentioned that here they are mentioning the question, no, the market price of crypto is highly volatile, as mentioned that the market price of crypto currency is highly volatile. Clear with this?
Yes.
Any doubt? Everyone? See this, the way I am writing, no, it's for 8 marks. So this is the, then what can we write down here now? Now, what is the further thing we can write down?
The gains or losses on selling it will be represented in P&L.
Yes, you can write down the difference, the difference in the fair value will be recorded in P&L, as, can I say, as it will provide relevant information and faithful representation. Clear with this?
Yes, sir.
And if you let's, what can we do? Should we write down the conclusion also here?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So what is the ultimate conclusion we will write down? So what is the conclusion? Can I say the cryptocurrency should be treated as an asset and it should be recorded at fair value as per conceptual framework?
Yes, sir.
Should be recorded as an asset and it should be It should be measured. It should be recorded at fair value as per the conceptual framework. Any doubts in this now?
No, sir.
No? See, this is a too big answer. Yes or no? I think we have taken 20 minutes. If it was a 10-mark question, you would have written so detailed. Yes or no? So 1 point, 1 mark for a valid point. But this question will not be, it will be for 5 to 6 marks, not more than that.
Yes, sir.
What about others? Clear?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Um,
So if the intention is to sell the asset, then when you revalue it, it should go to the P&L, not the OCI, right?
yes, 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 beta.
So if your
But
intention,
here you are not comparing. You only think from one point of view. Do not think that they will keep this asset with them. General assumption. The question is not specifying whether they'll hold with them, etc. XY. So go with the general assumption that they will sell. Yes or no? You only imagine why will a company purchase crypto for trading? No.
Sir, it is given in
no, I'm
that it is held for trading.
Yeah, yeah. It is mentioned in the question also. Yeah, it's held for trading. Yeah.
no, I'm talking about like not. So wait, in here we've mentioned the difference after we sell it, not when we're keeping it.
I'm not saying about selling. Every year you should do that. It'll go to penal only. No. It is better.
Why?
See here. See here, we are not saying that the cryptocurrency, we are only saying the measurement basis. It is better to follow fair value method and any difference should go to PNL because the aim is to trade here. Yes or no? Can I say today if I know I purchased crypto of $10,000 and today the market value is $20,000? You only say I am planning to sell. That means can I say for sure my aim is to sell it, not to keep with me?
No, that's what I'm saying. If the aim is to sell, then should it always go to P&L?
Yeah, the answer yes. They have already mentioned no trading.
Yeah. No, my doubt is like if our aim is to sell, then it has to go to P&L, right?
Mhm. The agenda bit is when I came to building also PP and investment property, I did not mention that for sure you'll sell it. Yes or no?
Yeah. The agenda, yeah.
That is important.
Okay,
Even
got
though
it.
in detail you will not be able to write in the exam. The way you have written the answer in 10 minutes, you will be able to write that much only. Will you get marks? For sure.
Okay, all right, sir.
Sir, also you've written current value, that is fair value, but both are different, right?
Which one, bete?
Sir, you said for measurement, it's
Uh,
current value, that is fair value. But both are different, right?
both are different means I did not get to. Current under current value or bete three, no? Fair value, value news, and this one.
Yeah, sir, in the column it was current value, value in use, and fair value.
In current value, there are three
Oh,
further.
current cost, that is. Okay, okay.
Bete, do not confuse with current cost and this. I've seen our students, F7 students confused a lot when coming. Okay.
Okay, okay, got it.
Clear? Huh?
So both
Any
are same, we can write both as the same thing, current value and the
you
all
can
the
directly write down fair value also, Bete. I mentioned no. If you see the answer, it is one page, more than one page. We'll not have time. Write down simple answer, move forward. Simple.
okay, okay, got it.
You are not an expert, you're learning for the first time. Understand? Judgment, write down, okay, I've written my point of view. Simple. Now, one more question. Can we do one more question now?
Yes, sir.
So I give that homework.
We'll do now, sir.
Arey, nahi, 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 nahi. Everything I will do, then what will you do, ma? I will say you. I will share you the question. Yes. It's type. Hmm, question number 2. Huh? Let me share you. Question is visible, no? It's not too small also, no?
It's visible, sir.
Okay. Anyone read the question?
Bottle operates in the publishing industry. The Bottle brand is highly respected, and as a result, the books published by Bottle receive extensive coverage online and in national and international press. The brand is internally generated and, in accordance with IAS 38, intangible assets, is not recognized in Bottle's financial statements. Discuss the extent to which the accounting treatment of the Bottle brand is consistent with the conceptual framework.
Now you say me, this question is type 1 or type 2 question better?
Type 2.
Type 2.
Type 2, no? So in type 2 question, what should we do now here? Here, are they saying that you have to record, or it is already mentioned that the particular standard is saying whether to record or not? And they are saying that whether the accounting treatment as per the given standard is in line with what? Conceptual framework. Now you say me, you know, IS 38 internally generated intangible asset. Yes or no? Now, if a brand is generated internally, you say me, it should be recognized as an asset. Is it an asset or not? First, say me that. Is this an asset or not?
It's an ad.
Is
But
this an asset? I'm not talking about recognition measurement. I'm just simply asking a question. Is this an asset or not?
yes, sir.
Yes. What about others?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why do you say this is an asset?
Because it provides economic benefits to the company.
Okay. So I hope you will write down that brand is an asset as it provides economic resource as a result of past event. Past event means you have done a lot of expenses and you have done the business. Now say me, will you record this now?
No, sir.
Why?
Because it can't be reliably measured.
It can't be reliably measured. When we started the discussion of recognition, what did I mention? Information is not relevant if the probability of the occurrence is very low. And I mentioned one more thing. Do you remember? Recognition of element might not provide a faithful representation if there is high degree of measurement uncertainty. Will you be able to measure the value of the brand, or how much is the cost you have incurred to create that brand? No. So
No.
what will you write? Can I say you will write down? The brand cannot be recorded because there is high degree of measurement uncertainty. It's not the uncertainty over the existence. There are two uncertainties: uncertainty over existence and uncertainty of measurement. That is the reason when you study IS 16, IS 40, you see that cost can be measured reliably. Okay. After that, what will you write down? So can I say, as per IS 38, you will not be recording? You know that. Now, conceptual framework is also saying that it should not be recorded. Can I say IS 38 and conceptual framework are in line?
Yes, sir.
So now, what is the conclusion you can write? Can I say IS 38 accounting treatment for brand is consistent with conceptual framework? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Is
Yes.
it easy to be able to write down this?
Yes, sir.
Yes. This will be a homework question, and one more question I will be sharing that you should do of from the conceptual framework. Any doubts? I've already mentioned you what is the answer, etc. One more question I will be sharing you. Write down that. These two questions are homework. Question 3, question 4. I'll share this Excel sheet with you. Okay. Any doubts, anyone?
No, sir.
No? Okay. What about the Sayyid, Sahana, Van?
No, sir.
No doubts? Okay. See, today going slow, little bit over. After 2 to 3 days, I'll increase the pace. Hmm? Then So here, what are the important points you have to remember? The definition of asset, liability, income, and equity elements. Then it should be recorded when relevant information, faithful representation is there. And can I say uncertainty also you should take into care? And yes, measurement also you have to see the characteristic. Yes. Kind of okay. Why? I have spent conceptual framework 3-4 hours. 2 hours में खत्म. उसके ऊपर नहीं. 2 hours maximum we should spend on this. Yes, Vivan, you mentioned kind of okay. Sir, do not go too fast also. Yes. Please mention me if I'm going too fast. I think I'm not going fast. I'm going slowly. When coming to question solving, I'll go fast. Because you already know I can't waste time in that. Yes or no? When coming to concept, I'll go slowly. Okay. Because if I sit and type all the answers, then time will be wasted in that only. Okay, okay. Chalo now. With this, it's clear. So now, stop sharing the screen. Now say me any doubts in conceptual framework? No. Now can I share? Is the Excel sheet visible? IFRS
Yeah,
18.
now it is.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now you have covered starting with the first IAS today. I'll not take much time. Basic only we'll do today. IAS 1 was what? Anyone, do you remember IAS 1? It has replaced, IAS 1 has been replaced by IFRS 18. IAS 1 was presentation of financial statement. Now IFRS 18 is what? Presentation and disclosure of financial statements. This is the most important topic I have mentioned. Changes is that. So for sure, September, December questions will be regarding this topic. So now, what is the exam advice I have written up above? Anyone, please read it.
The IASB published IFRS 18 to improve how entities communicate in their financial statements. It will be effective for annual periods beginning on or after 1st January 2027 when it replaces IAS 1 presentation of financial statements. IFRS 18 replaces IAS 1 as an examinable document for SBR examinations from September 2025.
Yeah, examiner have mentioned that in practical world, the date of implementation is 1st January 2027. But you're learning from today only, and it will be tested from the September attempt. Now, chalo, before that, why the standard was introduced? I explained, why the standard was introduced. Anyone can repeat the point?
Operating profit.
Yes, operating profit. Was operating profit defined anywhere? Till now, did you heard any standard saying that what is operating profit? No. You just knew that revenue minus all the expenses which you incurred for the business. This much only. So this was not defined in standards, in any accounting standard. But now IFRS 18 has specified it. Why IFRS 18 has specified? Can I say that when you are a shareholder, you will look to what? Can I say you will look to the operating profit only as the first important key, saying that how much is the company generating the profit or not from its main business. That is the reason IFRS 18 tries to do what? Tries to improve the presentation. See now here, what is the objective of IFRS 18? IFRS 18 sets out requirement for the presentation and disclosure of information in general purpose financial statements to help ensure the provide relevant information and faithfully represent an entity's asset, liability, equity, income, and expense. Same, the agenda of the standard is what? To provide relevant information and faithful representation of asset, liability, equity, income, and expenses. Have we covered this or not already? The objective of financial statements to assess the future cash flow, to assess management stewardship. How responsible is the management? How well they are running the company? We have already covered in the objective of financial reporting also. Why do we prepare? What is the purpose of preparing the financial statement? Then coming to the set of financial statements. The set of financial statements. So what are the financial statements, Bede? Can anyone say the 5 financial statement? P&L, statement of profit and loss and other comprehensive income, statement of financial position, that is your balance sheet, then statement of changes in the equity, statement of cash flow for the reporting period, and notes for the reporting period. Reporting period means what? The duration with which the accounting period is that 1st January 31st December, 1st March, 1st April to 31st March, etc. And additional, what are the additional set of financial statement? Comparative information for preceding period. Yes or no? If you want to compare the company, the current year data and the previous year, can I say the company should provide the previous year balance sheet also and current year, so that the users can compare and get to know how much is the increase in asset, liability, etc. Then what is the next one? If required, a statement of financial position at the start of the preceding year, that is when there has been a retrospective restatement of material reclassification. Did you understand this point? If you have learned IAS 8, it would be clear. Is this point clear better to everyone? The point which I'm mentioning here now.
Yes, sir.
What does this mean?
So when there is change in accounting policies, then it should be presented retrospectively. So the previous statement should also be changed and compared.
Yeah. Do you know the concept of third balance sheet? That means whenever retrospective treatment is there, when comparing to the previous of the preceding year, in that one more balance sheet you will be preparing. We will discuss this in IAS 8 again in detail, but do understand that additional, what are the two things? Comparative information, as well as if there is any change in accounting policy or retrospective treatment that should be done when compared to the previous year, then you will prepare a third balance sheet. At that, when once we do IAS 8, it will be clear. Is this clear? What is the set of financial statements?
Yes, sir.
So these are the primary financial statement. These 5 are what? Primary financial statements. Now, role of primary financial statements and notes. Chalo. All basic only. Anyone read? Please, let's make Sayyid.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Primary financial statement, the statement of financial performance, the statement of financial position, the statement of changes in equity, and statement of cash flows.
Hmm.
To achieve the objective of the financial statement, an entity must present information in primary financial statements and discloses material information in the notes.
Okay. Now, can I say primary financial statements? Can I say in balance sheet, P&L, changes in equity and cash flow, you will present the numbers? Yes or no? You will present the numbers. But when coming to any disclosure regarding that item, you will be providing in the notes to account. And in notes to account, what should you provide? Disclose only material information. You can't disclose each and everything. If it is material, you will disclose. Now, can I say IFRS, IAS and IFRS will say you a lot of disclosure that should be given? Yes or no? But what is IFRS 18 saying you? Do not disclose all the disclosure as per the respective standard. Only disclose material information in the notes. You will understand this point later. Is this clear? Disclosure should also be material that are presented in the notes to account. Now, what does material information means? Again, same topic. Anything which is expected to affect the decision of the users is known as what? Material information. The notes information in financial statement provides in addition to that presented in the primary financial statement. Yes or no? If I mention an asset in my balance sheet, can I say regarding the asset, what are the disclosure note? What is an important point I have written in the disclosure note saying that, okay, this asset, the current year depreciation was this, the asset was revalued to this much, etc. XYZ. Any doubts on this?
No, sir.
No? What about others? I can't see anyone.
No, sir.
other than Chinchana. I can't see your face, so I'll not get to know whether it's clear or not. Okay then, chalo. Now next, anyone read this? Let's Soham.
The primary financial statement provides structured summaries of an entity's recognized assets, liabilities, equity, income, expenses, and cash flows that helps users obtain an understandable overview of the entity's financial position, performance, and cash flows, make comparisons between entities and between reporting periods for the same entity, and identify items about which users may find additional information in the notes.
So primary financial statement provides what? It provides a summary. It does not provide the detailed information. Detailed information will be given in the notes to account. Why they are providing? To obtain the understanding. Users can obtain understanding about the position, performance, and the cash flow of the company. They can compare the entity with other entity. They can compare the results of current year and previous year, and additional items will be provided into notes. Then the notes provide material information necessary to enable user to understand the line item in the primary financial statement. If I say only PP is written, now under this PP, do you know how many plant or property or equipments are there? No, no. In the balance sheet, only PP will be written of $10,000. This $10,000 will be of two buildings, two equipment, etc. That will be provided in notes to account. Supplement the primary financial statement with additional information to achieve the objective of financial statement. What is the objective of financial statement? To present relevant and faithful representation. So the information which you are providing in the notes should also be material, so that it achieves the objective of financial statements also. Now the point which I have written in the note. Now let's Sahana, read better. This is only the way I can make you active.
An entity is not required to present or disclose information specified by IFRS accounting standards if it is not material, even if it's listed as a minimum requirement.
Yes.
Additional disclosure should be provided if the specific IFRS requirements are insufficient for users to understand the entity's financial position and performance.
This is a link to what here? This is a link to materiality. Above I mentioned, no, material information. Some, you would see that standards are there, IAS and IFRS. They say that this is the minimum you should record in the balance sheet and P&L. But IFRS 18 is saying what? An entity is not required to present or disclose information specified by IFRS or IAS if it is not material. IAS, IFRS will say that you record it, but you know that it is not material. You should not record it. You can remove it. No need to record it. Then additional disclosure should be provided if the specific IFRS requirement are insufficient. If you're following any IS or IFRS and it is insufficient for the users to understand what is the treatment you have done, even though the accounting standard does not say to provide disclosure, you can provide additional disclosure. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Any doubts, anyone? Soham, Sayyid, Sana, then Vivan, Shamia.
No, sir.
Okay. Yes. नेक्स्ट क्या है एग्रीगेशन डिसएग्रीगेशन ओके चलो we will do this will be the last topic then from tomorrow we will do this SOPL. This is only the most biggest change यही कराना है so that is the reason we'll start fresh one day with this. Now coming to aggregation and disaggregation, what does this means? Now anyone, what does the term aggregation means or disaggregation means? Aggregation means what better?
Aggregation is combining, disaggregation is separating.
Now you say me, by general common sense, when can you aggregate the following item? If I say you have two assets and you are aggregating it, you are bringing that together, and doing this, it is not providing a good understanding to the users. Will you do this still?
No.
No. Now, can anyone first read the definition for me? Aggregation. Um, Sahana done no last time. Now, Sayed, you were done. Vivan, read better.
So which one, sir? Aggregation?
Yeah, aggregation, disaggregation better.
The adding together of assets, liabilities, equity, income, expenses, or cash flows that share characteristics and are inclined in the same classification.
So when can you aggregate? You can aggregate when the characteristics are same, shared characteristics. Where that means characteristics are same, and it should not, and it should also provide relevant information. It's not that if you have aggregated and it is not providing relevant information, it's not providing a detail, you should not do that. See here, I've given an example here. Classify and aggregate item based on shared characteristics. Same nature. That means what? Share characteristics means same nature. Example, combine all travel expenses into one line item, that is travel expenses. Yes or no? If you have 10 travel expenses, you can combine and record in a single line. Yes or no? This will provide relevant and it will be understandable to the users also. It will not confuse them. Then anyone with disaggregation?
The separation of an item into component parts that have characteristics that are not shared.
Yes or no? If I say travel expenses there and advertisement expenses there, can you combine these together?
No, sir.
No. Let's take travel expenses and advertisement expenses are the huge expense of your company. It is better to show differently because the characteristics is not same. Now, I hope the aggregation and disaggregation is clear. Aggregation means you can aggregate or add together the asset, liability, equity, income, and expense or cash flow that share characteristics. That is the reason. Can I say in PP you have a lot of PP, will aggregate together and just write down, okay, this is this. When coming to disaggregation, you separate and record it. Now, the best example could also be that disaggregation, as given here, salary and advertisement, amortization and depreciation. It's totally different. It's for intangible and this is for tangible. Record it separately. Now, can anyone please read the principle for me?
Classify and aggregate items based on shared characteristics.
Same nature, we have discussed it. Let me only do. Even I will read it.
Yes.
Disaggregate item based on characteristics that are not same. So different nature. Example, do not combine salary and advertisement expenses. They are unrelated. Then what is the next one? Aggregate or disaggregate item. Aggregate or disaggregate item to present line items in the primary financial statement to provide useful structured summary. Yes or no? Like depreciation, amortization, etc. You should record all the depreciation you can combine in this. All the amortization of intangible asset you can combine in this. So do not record depreciation, amortization, advertisement in one and record a single line item. Don't do that. Record it separately so that it provides useful information. Aggregate or disaggregate items to disclose information in the notes that provides material information. If you record it separately, it would also be helpful to the shareholders or the users to get to know, okay, regarding this expense, any notice that there will be a clear linkage. Only these first 2 points are important. These are not much important. Ensure that aggregation and disaggregation do not obscure material information. You should ensure that when you're aggregating or disaggregating, it should not obscure material information. Clear? Item presented in the financial primary financial statement, that is line items, subtotals and totals, or disclosed in the notes must be labeled and described in a way that faithfully represent their characteristics. This means what? Now, when you prepare your P&L, can I say in P&L you record gross profit, then you record operating profit? Can I say these all are what? Subtotals, and your ultimate total will be what? Profit for the year. And what does label line item means? Can I say line item means cost of sales, distribution cost, impairment loss, depreciation, amortization represented separately? And why are you presenting separately? Can I say these all present separate characteristics? This means providing all description and explanation necessary for a user to understand each item. This may include the meaning of the term and information about how items have been aggregated or disaggregated. If you do this properly and provide notes in the disclosure, the users will get to know, okay, on what basis they have aggregated, on what basis they have disaggregated. When you do IAS 16, you come across the term known as class of asset. You bring certain assets together. When you follow revaluation model, you should follow revaluation model to a class of asset. If you have 10 office building, for all the office building, you should follow revaluation. If you have a factory building, factory, for all the factories you should follow cost or revaluation. Same way like that. These notes are lit detailed one. Why? Because the standard is introduced new. So I wanted to make all the detailed notes so that if any theory question also compare IAS 1 and IFRS this, you can write down. Now, what does offsetting means better? What does offsetting means? Anyone with an example offsetting?
Sir, if there is a revaluation loss and if there is a balance of surplus of previous period, then it can be offset.
Offset. If I say I have a property 1, I have property 2, can I offset the revaluation gain and loss of property 1 and property 2 together?
No.
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 No. Property 1 you have to see specifically, property 2 you have to do specifically. So here now offsetting means what? Asset and liabilities and income and expenses must not be offset unless required a permit by any IFRS. Conceptual framework or IFRS 18, the principle is saying that you should not offset any asset or liability unless it is required by accounting standard. If I say A is there, B is there. A is a customer of B. If A is a customer of B, can I say in A books payable will be there and in B's book receivable will be there? Yes or no? And vice versa. If B is the customer, then here receivable will be there and then payable will be there from the same party. Can you offset this now? A basic question. Can you offset this? Will this provide relevant information? No, you should not do this. Offsetting reduces user ability to understand the transaction and other events and conditions that have occurred and to assess the entity's future cash flows. Yes or no? If you do this, it will affect the users to make an understanding about the future cash flow. But I have written a question here. I've written an example. This offset you can do. This offset you can do in IFRS 9. You have certain conditions. We'll be learning that also. In IFRS 9, you have what? Certain conditions. In IFRS 9, is the screen visible? No?
Yes, sir.
In IFRS 9, you have certain conditions. If these conditions are satisfied, you can offset. We will be learning those 3 conditions are there. A small part. So is this point clear? Here I mentioned that they can only show 3 lakh rupees as IFRS 9 allows if certain conditions are met. If these conditions are not met as per IFRS 9, you can't offset it. Clear with the concept of offsetting also?
Yes, sir.
Yes, this all will form the basis for your upcoming standards. So now from tomorrow Monday, we will complete this your IFRS 18 and we will start with fair value. Fair value, I'll do basic and we'll complete with this. Now, only the part which we have to spend time is on statement of profit and loss because the SOP, FP and other things are same only. It is too detailed. I have written here full detail and again once we do IS and IFRS, again we will be seeing. Now you have a basic idea, no, what IFRS 18 has done. See now, this is the difference IFRS 18 has brought into picture. IFRS 18 has introduced 5 categories. IFRS 18 has introduced 5 categories: operating, investing, financing, income tax, and discontinued operation. Now, say me where you have covered this operating, investing, and financing.
Cash flow statement.
Yes, you have covered this in cash flow. Yes or no? These two, income tax and discontinued operation, can I say this was already in the previous P&L also? Income tax expense you are recording, and if any discontinued operation there, you will show a separate line item as per IFRS 5. This already you knew. This is the important part here now. 3 categories. This is the important point. So because of this reason, the operating category or the operating profit will be determined. Now, just giving a basic idea, then we will wind up the session. Now see here. Operating profit gives what? A complete picture of a company's operation. Operating profit. See, this is the format now. The change. Revenue, cost of goods sold, gross profit you have, other operating income and expense, certain expenses. Then you'll get operating profit. Then you will write down the income or expenses from investing part. Then you will have profit before financing and income tax, then you will write down the income and expenses from financing part, you'll have profit before tax. A basic idea I'm given. Again on Monday we will do this in detail, so that you know what is the difference between IAS 1 and IFRS 18. So that is the reason you have to learn now what is the item that will go into financing category, what is the item that will go into operating and investing. Once we are done with this, done, nothing much is that. Then as I mentioned, OCI, here we will be doing the OCI part. What is reclassified, what is not reclassified, what is the format. Now do you have a basic idea of this or not? Do you have a basic idea of IAS 1 and IFRS 18, the format in the PNL?
Yes.
Yes. Now, any doubts in today's class? Anyone?
No, sir.
No? Can we wind the session now? So today I will send you, do type out the answer for this one, and one more question I'll be sharing based on conceptual framework. Do it. Okay? And send me the answer for the last question, question number 4 only, which I'll be sharing. Not for question number 3. I've already discussed what is the answer. If not, you want to share it. I will mark and give you the script.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So the next Monday, our plan is to complete this and start with IFRS 13 fair value. Okay. So tomorrow be on time. Exact at 8:10 I'll be starting. If you join late and you miss out, then it will be a problem to you if you have to see the recordings. And the students who are not there, I have to inform that try to attend regular classes. See, it's not that I'm doing something new. It's already you know some out of that. Basic you already know. Yes or no?
So,
Okay. Can we wind up the session now? I'll share the Excel sheet. Do it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bye bye. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Welcome.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. One important note. Do share your email IDs to me today, so that we will contact the team, and our app is there on that, recordings will be uploaded. Rio platform something name. Share me your email ID, so that again through email you'll receive the key. User ID will be your this only. Email only. Password will be created. So that first 3 lectures will be uploaded on YouTube as mentioned. Then after that you will be getting recordings. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay then. Bye bye. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.